All right, y'all. Welcome to the Trade Vault live training session, guys. We're going to be covering setups, a setup that I've been really kind of like crafting since I started my journey in October to kind of give you guys a really good blueprint. We're going to talk some Monero. We're going to talk some setups. We're going to talk about my personal setup, which is the world class setup, guys. And we're going to talk about what I see in the market, help you guys get off to a great start. And so I hope you guys are ready with pen and pad. Your phones are ready, and you have your water and everything else that you need, whatever you need, right? So let's dive in. First thing first that I want to cover really quickly, just to get a temperature check in the room. If you've never taken a trade, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. If you're a complete novice, put a 1 in the chat. I just want to get a temperature check of the room real quick. If you have taken a trade before, put a 2 in the chat. Okay, Terrence has never taken a trade. Okay. Terrence, do you have MetaTrader 5 downloaded on your phone yet? If you have not taken a trade yet, Terrence, you want to go into your phone, download MetaTrader 5. Somebody type that in the chat for Terrence. MetaTrader 5. Okay. And you're going to also need a broker. Okay. FinenseFX.io. Okay. You can set up a demo account with FinenseFX.io. For those who have broker questions, if you do decide to set up your account with Finesse.fx, let me cover that for you real quick on a screen share so I can just kind of give you an idea, because you do have different ways that you can go in with what kind of account you want. Even if it's a demo, you can do it with your demo and then move up to a live, which I recommend, so you can kind of get a feel, because that's what I did to figure out which package I would want to go with when it came to the broker. But let me share my screen real quick here. Let me go to a new share. Pulled up. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Yeah. Let me mute you out. Get your pen and pad, Davina. Let me see here. Let me go here, guys, real quick. Let me get my browsers over here, because it's over here on my TV. Let me slide this over real quick so I can screen share. We're going to address this real quick. Go ahead and mute out. All right. All right. So let me share my screen real quick. Where am I at? All right, let me do a new share real quick. We're going to get this squared away so everybody can kind of keep up here. Share screen. Come on, Finesse FX at. I think it's this one. Let me see. Yeah. So if you do not have a broker, Terrence, if you do not have a broker, okay, you need MetaTrader 5. You can put this on the computer. You can also go here on the desktop or computer, FinesseFX.io. I think I put it in the chat already. Let me validate that. I'll put it in here one more time and make sure my spell check is good. You can go up here and set up your account. If you have not done that, you want to do this. Now, you can go to any broker. I'm just giving you the one that I currently use. I use this one in Forex.com. This one was actually recommended through Economy, where we have the Monero software. So that's how I learned about this one, because this is the one that they recommend. This is the one I started practicing on, and then this is the one I funded as well too. But you can go here, guys, set up your account. Okay. Can I move this out of the way? Yeah. So if you're going to go ahead and sign in here or create an account, well, let me just do this. Well, is it going to let me do it? Let me see, because I already have an account. Just go to get started here. I'm putting your information. Okay, it's going to take me in here. Okay, but you can have different accounts. Let me just go to accounts so I could just show you what you could do. If you went to if you want to do a demo account, you can go here. Okay, and from here you can choose which one you want. Okay, I personally recommend the gold demo. I mean, I've done ECNs, I've done gold demos to kind of get a feel of what style I would like to actually go with. The gold demo, you'll get smaller spreads, right? Smaller spreads, and but they'll get commissions, right? So I started off on the gold one because this one said this was for advanced serious traders. This is where I started. Once I traded on here, then I just, the curiosity, I wanted to go to ECN and see what that was like, or a zero demo, see what that one was like. And I did notice the difference. So I was able to compare which one I personally like. Now personally for me, I like the gold one because I get smaller spreads, and the spread, for someone who wants to know what a spread is, you can write this down. A spread is simply the difference from when you want to enter the market from where they will place you in the market. So in simple terms, let's say if you wanted to come in to the market in a buy and you wanted to come in at a 7, I'm just giving you a simple way of understanding how it works. You wanted to come in at 7. Well, if their spread is 3, that means they're going to put you in at 10. The broker makes money between the spread, which means you have to cover the spread first before you make money. They're going to cover the spread and then you're in profit. So if you come in at 7, they're going to put you at 10, right? And that's how they make money. So the gold demo, if you come in at a gold demo, which of course, if you do live, it's going to be the same, but you can test it out in the demo, it's going to give you a smaller spread, but now they make commissions off of your trades. So for me personally, with my trades, they make a whole bunch of money with me doing that, but I get smaller spreads. Now, I did want to try out the ECN or the zero demo where there's no commissions. You see, it says 0, no commissions. And I did try that as well too, because I'm thinking, man, they're making a lot of commissions off me, man. Let me see what the 0 demo does. Let me try that in demo just to see what that looks like. And me looking at that, I do see that they do not take commissions. However, the spreads are a lot higher. So versus me having a 9 pip spread, I may be having a 15 or a 17 pip spread. And the spread makes it harder for you to go into profit because you have to first cover the spread. So, if I can get a 6 pip spread or a 5 pip spread, that means I only have to cover 5 pips, right? To be at a break-even situation. The 6th and the 7th and the 8th and the 9th is all profit. So even if I'm trading $10 a pip, when I go 1 pip above the spread, that's $10, 20, 30, 40, 50, so I can be 5 pips over the spread and still make $50 in that example at a $10 per pip spread, right? I mean, $10 a pip, right? But if I go no commissions with the 0 demo, then I may have a 16 pip spread, which means now I have to cover 16 pips, and the 17th pip, now I'm in profit. Well, 16 pips, that's a lot of pips. If I'm trading at $10 a pip, that means I have to clear over $160 before I get to profit. So that's why me personally, when I traded on both of them, I kind of like having the gold demo with the lower spreads because I know they're going to make a lot of commissions off of me, but at the same time, I'm going to make a lot of money as well too because I can get in and out of trades the way I want to because I'm getting as close as I can to the type of entry I would want. I want to come into an entry and then I have 15, 17 people away from my entry because that makes it harder for me to come out of profit. So you just come here, set up your demo account, okay? Set up your demo account. And you can start practicing and learning how to trade using a demo, which I highly recommend. If you haven't traded, you don't know the formula, start off with your demo, guys, because that's going to definitely help you. Any questions about this really quick? If so, put it in the chat, please. Any questions about this? Oh, let me also cover. Now, Finesse FX, they have multiple ways that you can fund your account. You can fund it with crypto. You can fund it with a bank account. Right? You just have to go and get verified, right? Go through the KYC and get verified, right? If you're going to get verified, if you're going to use your card, if you're going to use a bank card, you're going to go through your process of putting your information in for your bank card. If you're going to be using crypto and you're already a crypto enthusiast, you got some Bitcoin laying around in another wallet or so, you can actually deposit funds with crypto. You just come to deposit here, right? And they give you the options here. So you can go with Bitcoin, you can go with USDT, you can go with Ethereum, you can go with a pay card. So if you have a debit card, you can go here. Long as it's confirmed. If you have Bitcoin in another wallet, you can fund your account with Bitcoin if you know about crypto. Okay, I won't cover that in this training because it's not really designed for that. But if you want to do a card, you can come here. Okay, choose what you want. Okay, go to confirm. Okay, it'll ask you what method you want to use. You can choose what method, the amount, go through the process. You want to fund this with an account, you could do that. Or if you want to choose your method, you just go through the process. Okay, put your card in there, they validate your card, all that good stuff. You can actually deposit and get started there. Okay, let me see if I have any questions about this. Let me go here. Where my chat at? We got a lot of stuff to cover. Any questions about the broker? Any questions at all about the broker? Any questions about the broker? Any questions about the broker? Okay, so no questions about the brokers, right? All right, so I'm proceeding forward. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, you should have your MetaTrader 5. If you want to know how to do your MetaTrader 5, once you get your broker, let me sync this in right here. When you set up your demo or your live account, they're going to send you an email. Okay, they're going to send you an email with your login information. Okay, when they're going to give you a login and a password. Now, the password is going to be some random number. Okay, you can either keep it as that random number, or you can come into your account and you can change your password by going to account. Okay, if you click here, it'll show all your accounts, and you can go to change password and change it to something you do like. Once you have the password you do like, or if you're fine with whatever they send you, I'm going to show you your next step. So you have your broker, right? You should have the MetaTrader 5 downloaded on your phone. If you do not have that, do that now. I'm going to show you what that looks like. One moment. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Give me a second because I'm dropping stuff all over here in my towel. My bottled water. Hold on. I'm going to show you what that looks like real quick. And then we're going to proceed forward. All right. All right. Let me share my screen here and show you what that looks like. Because your broker account is actually going to be connected to your MetaTrader. So I want to show you that so there's no confusion. I'm sure if you've already traded before, you've already done this part, but I'm going to do this for my novice. All right. I'm going to do this for my novice. Get myself cleaned up over here. Okay. So if you have not done that, let me go over here to MetaTrader. Right. Go here. Let me take off this screen share right here. Let me go to a new share right here. Share screens. And then let me go to my iPhone and go to do not disturb. Okay. Say installing. I should already be installed. Okay, let's see. Now let me go ahead and share this screen with you guys real quick. This is set up. This is getting yourself set up. Okay, good. Okay, so once you have your Finesse FX broker set up, or whatever broker you have set up, if you're using a broker, you need to make sure that it's on MetaTrader 5 if you want to use the strategy that I use to trade, because I trade on MetaTrader 5. So if you use some other broker and it requires you, and they're not listed on MetaTrader 5, you will not be able to follow along with how exactly I trade with MetaTrader 5. Now, you can take some of the concepts and things and, and work your magic on however you're executing your trades. But if you want to trade exactly the way we're trading in the trade vault, we use MetaTrader 5, which means your broker has to be listed on MetaTrader 5. For Finesse FX, Forex.com. These are ones that are listed, okay? Because they're A-book brokers, okay? So what you'll do is you'll go to the top where you see here, right? And you can just go to new account, right? And then you can search Finesse FX and you'll see it right there. You'll click, okay? It'll ask for your login and your password. You'll enter your login, your password, and now your Finesse FX is now connected to your MetaTrader 5. Any questions on that? Any questions on that at all? Any questions on that? Let me know if you have any questions on that at all. If you do, have a question and put it in the chat real quick. Want to make sure that the class is staying with me. Any questions on that? Let me check my chat. No questions? So everybody's good. Everybody's with me right now. No questions. Going once. Going twice. All right. Let me do a temperature check. If you're with me, put a 1 in the chat. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, everybody's with me. Okay, so we're all on the same track because I want to make sure the foundation is laid so everybody can proceed forward. Okay. For those who want to know a little bit about my story, just a brief story, guys. I started trading in October. I always wanted to add trading to my portfolio, but the stars just aligned. It was the perfect timing for me to get involved with trading. I decided to get myself started in trading, and I set my goals at 100,000 a month, and it happened in November. And that may be a little bit of an anomaly, you know. I know that's probably not typical, and I'm not saying that to impress you, but I am saying that to impress upon you the possibility when it comes to trading. But it's all about the decision to really lock in and really about you, you know, because one thing that trading does is it exposes you and who you are in your belief system, because you're going to get out of trading based on what you believe. Your perspective is going to show up on the charts. Now, I'm here just to be a beacon of light to give you guys an example and give you guys some tools and some guidance on what I've been learning in my relatively short journey in trading. You know, it's been what now 6 months? October, November, December, January, February, March. We're in like 5 months. January we traded half the month. December a little bit half of the month. You know, so about 5 months. But I can say because of my willingness and my desire to really master the art, I've probably done about 2 years worth of work in 5 months. So, and anyone can do it. It's just all about, are you going to make the time? Are you going to delegate the time for you to become good really quick? You know, a wise man, one of my mentors, Mr. Holton Buggs, one of my first mentors that came from network marketing, he said a wise thing. He said, we're in network marketing. People say, hey, you on one of those get rich quick schemes? And Mr. Holton Buggs would say, yeah. You ever tried getting rich slow? How's that working out for you? So the moral of the story is success loves speed. And so sometimes, guys, you have to delegate your time to something. If you know you're in a vehicle that can produce endless amounts of income, you have to start really making the decision for yourself to say, hey, you find time to do everything else in your life. So when are you going to find time to do this? Because this has literally the ability to change your whole life, period. And if you're delegating more of your time doing other things that's not income producing or cannot yield this type of ROI on your investment, then you want to really do some self-reflecting and know yourself and check yourself, because that's what I had to do. And no one can do that for you. You have to do that for yourself. But let's dive in. So everybody's with us. If you're with me, put some fire in the chat if you're with me. Put some fire in the chat. We on spring break. I got my spring break little wine, man. I'm on spring break, guys. I'm on spring break. I'm on spring break. Okay. Okay, Queen. Okay, Queen. Your nickname gonna be Firecracker. You know why? Oh, you gonna be all right. You're gonna be all the way to the good. I promise you that. All right, so let's dive in, right? So now that we have everything set up, I'm gonna show you guys there's some key things. I think I'm gonna go over to my whiteboard now. Let me go ahead and share my screen and go into my whiteboard because now we gotta get into this setup. Let me go into my share screen. Let me get over into this whiteboard real quick. Y'all let me know if y'all can see this whiteboard. And we're gonna have to move this thing along because I don't want to keep you all day, but I want to give you what you need. That way, if you're a part of the team, that means you're coming to my live trade. You've been in the live trade sessions. If you haven't, that means you're coming to my live trade sessions. And if you're not on the team, so I got a special guest here, you can take this and run with it as well too. And I hope you'll find this very well. So the first thing I want to cover with you guys real quick is support and resistance. And if I spell something wrong, y'all laugh at me. All right, support and resistance. If you have your notes, go ahead and put that down on your chart. Support and resistance. Okay, I'm going to try to do this as quickly and as effectively as possible so you get the concept. Okay, so support and resistance. You have to know support and resistance because support and resistance, it identifies the zones. Okay, it identifies zones. Okay, zones, which are also called areas of interest. Right? Just think about area of interest. You ever been to a club or an event, right? And at the event, it's a big space, right? And in one space, lots of people are clustered in that area. But if you walk away from that area, it's still people, but it's kind of like spread out. You can get breathing room and elbow room. But if you go in one section, that section is where all the busy bodies are, right? These is what you call zones or the area of interest. Is where the same thing is happening. A lot of things are happening in that one area. Support and resistance. When you look at support and resistance, these zones are called area of interest because that is the interest area. That is the area that the candles keep moving within. If that makes sense to you, put a 1 in the chat. Make sure y'all following me here. I don't want to lose y'all. That makes sense. Put 1 in the chat. Where my ones at? Where my ones at? Okay, good. So let me break down this support and resistance, right? So let me get a pen here. Let's say we have a house, right? We have a house. All right, this is our house. Now, in this house, when you walk through the door, you're going to walk in from this area right down here, right? This area in a trade, okay, would be called support. If you need this to register in your mind, to make it make sense in your mind, just all you got to do, if you sitting in a chair, go stand up right now. Just stand up for a second. To make this register in your mind, if you need to remember what this is, just stand up on your feet right now and look down at the floor and ask yourself, how are you even able to stand up? Because you have support and it's called the floor. If that makes sense, put a 2 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat. Because I do not want to lose you guys right here because we at the very foundation. This is fundamental things that we have to know. Okay, so I'll just process and register that as the floor. The support is the floor. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and get my pen here. We're going to move forward. Now I want you to look at this area I'm going to draw right here in the house. Imagine this was a ceiling. Look up at your ceiling right now so you can have something in your mind to register. You've already looked at the floor. Look up at your ceiling. This is the ceiling. This area is called the resistance, right? Resistance. Now, the best way to process this and remember this, just imagine if you stand up right now on your feet and you try to jump and go through the floor. Would you go through the floor? No, you won't. Why? Because it's support. The floor is support. You can't go through the floor unless you had a hole in the floor. You ever been on a patio with like a deck or something and the board was bad? You step on it, you'll fall through it because it's weak support. The support broke in. And in trades, that's what happens when a candle goes through the support. It breaks the support. And now it can continue to go further because it's broken the support. But while it's being supported, you can rely on the support to hold that trade at a certain level. Same thing with the resistance. The resistance is the ceiling. So when the trade is going up, if you have activity that shows you every single time it hit that certain area, it came back down, then that shows you resistance. If that makes sense, put a 3 in the chat. And I just want to let you know, you're going to get pop quiz. So if you're not paying attention, you're not going to be able to answer these questions. Raul, do I still got you here? Is Raul still here? Where Raul? Where's Raul? I ain't lose him already, did I? Let me see, where's Raul? Raul, are you still here? You may be trying to download. Are you with us, Raul, or are you downloading your apps? Let me know. I'm gonna keep going, but let me know. I wanna check on you. Okay, so everybody knows support and resistance, right? Very important to know that. So just a quick pop quiz. Davina, pay attention. Tell them kids stop, leave you alone. Tell them kids leave you alone. Tell them leave you alone. I feel like somebody over there saying, Mama, can you do? Tell them kids leave you alone. I'm trying to get rich right now. So, Davina, if you have a candlestick and it's down in the support level and it hits this area right here and it goes down from this area, what did it do? Explain to me what is happening. If it's down here and it goes and the candle hits this area right here, this resistance area, what did it do?
Okay, so I'm listening and I'm looking.
No, that ain't gonna work.
All right.
No.
Bullet? No, see, you're gonna have to do it again.
It's not gonna work. Mute your line, man. That is not gonna work. Listen, you already know. Guys, let me put a disclaimer out there. Okay? Let me put a disclaimer out there. Okay, you got Chad and you got Chino. Sometimes, guys, Chad can be the mentor. The mentor is there to inspire you, to uplift you, to give you positive words of affirmation. But I'm not only a mentor, I'm also a coach. A coach gonna tell you how it's supposed to be and tell you when you're wrong and when you need to be tightening up your game, because I need to get the results. We want to win. Tell them kids leave you alone. That's why I'm messing with you. I know you're gonna be Get it right. Exactly. Thank you, Terrence. It tested the resistance. It tested the resistance. So if a candle is down here at the support level and it's gone up and hit this ceiling and it bounced off the resistance, that means that it tested the resistance. I wasn't expecting you to get that 100% right, Davina, but I just wanted you to at least know that it bounced off the resistance. You know, Terrence understands it tested the resistance. This is very important for you to know that, because when you see a candle, first, if you can identify resistance, right, then you'll know when the candle hits a certain area and go down from it, you'll be like, oh, it didn't go up because of the resistance. See, this is the part that you have to understand, because people are seeing the charts and not knowing what they're looking at. They just think it went down because it went down, and it went up just because it went up. No, it didn't go down because it went down. It went down because it was in an area of interest and it tested the resistance. It could not bust through the resistance. So the resistance pushed it down. The same way if you get on a chair and jump and hit you and try to go through your ceiling, the resistance is going to push you back down, right? If you get a hammer and you go try to bust through a brick wall, you're going to have to keep hitting that area and weaken the resistance in order for you to bust through that brick wall. It can happen, but you got to keep hitting it, keep testing it, keep hitting it, keep hitting it. And this is what happens in trading when you have zones in area of interest. They have to be retested multiple times sometimes before it breaks through. So you can use these areas, to either fight off you getting to know where to put your stop loss, to know where to put your take profit, because your stop losses and your take profits are always going to be in zones and areas of interest. Period. Right? So let's continue. Right? So let's say, for instance, you have a candle. Right? Let me give you that visual demonstration. Right? It hit this area and it came back down. Right? Let me give you a visual. Right? Then it went back up here again and it hit that area and bounced back down. See, this is when you're having what we call, you're starting to see that resistance. You're like, oh, every time it go down, it went back down and it went back up again. Boom, ran into the resistance. It stopped right there. Why did it not go up here? Because of this area of resistance. The resistance is stopping it from going. Why? Because buyers and sellers understand these zones. They understand the zones. And take profits and stop losses are normally always going to be in areas of resistance or support. So every time it hits a resistance, it could be hitting someone's take profit. It can be hitting someone's stop loss. It can be consolidating, right? So in this case, if you wanted to look at a possible sell, you may be looking for an area of interest like a resistance or something. You may be waiting for a pullback where the market goes up and hits this area, and you may be looking for some other things, which I'm going to talk about in a little further in the training to give you a better entry. I'm going to cover my world-class setup, okay? But this is the fundamentals of it. Now, if you wanted to take a buy, you would have to wait until it breaks and close above this area of interest and breaks past the resistance, right? Goes through the resistance. If that makes sense, put a 1 in the chat. The superstar? Okay, yeah, okay. I'm making, right? It would have to close above that entry. It can't go up and come back down and then close below it. Because if it goes up above it and close below it, you're still below the area of interest. It's still a good indicator, but if you want to be precise with your trading, you have to understand these areas and know, okay, it's above the resistance. Because what happens when your candle goes above the resistance? This is why I drew this second area here. Exactly. There's some, they can fake you out. It can go up and still close below, and it didn't went up and you didn't got into a buy to go up before you saw the close, and now all of a sudden it closed below the resistance and now using the resistance for the drawdown. So this is why you got to make sure that it closes above the resistance, because what happens when it closes above the resistance? Well, now you're past the ceiling. So imagine a 2-story house. What happens when you go up the stairs of your house and you get to the second floor? The second floor, Davina, when you go upstairs in your house and you get to the second floor, the second floor becomes what? Support or resistance, Davina? Exactly. So this is why it's so important for you to know what support and resistance is, because if you're above the resistance, the same resistance, which is that zone, now can be used as support, which means if this candle breaks above the resistance and it does this and it starts going up and now it starts going down, it's very possible it will stop right here, because now it's on top on the second floor, and when it hits that support, it may bounce off and go to the upside. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, put a 2 in the chat. Put a fire heart and put fire hearts in the chat if that makes sense. Put the fire hearts. I gotta make sure people paying attention. Okay? That's why it makes so much more sense when you do that, right? And it can continue to the upside. Now, let's say, for instance, this chart was like this, and it told you, Monero told you to get into a sale, and you've identified this as support, right? Let me move this up, because now what happens is this now becomes the resistance, and this now becomes the support, right? Now you have a different level of support. That doesn't mean that this is not support. This is still support, but you're not at this level of support. This area, and this area are all areas of interest. 1, 2, and 3. But the current zone you're in, this is the zone you're in. It's like when you get on the freeway and you're trying to drive far, you got toll roads, right? When you go so far, you're going to run into a toll road. If you keep going, you're going to roll into another toll road. Now, that doesn't, just because you're at another toll road doesn't mean that the old toll road didn't vanish. No. If you go back that way, when you're going back home, you're going to have to go back through that other toll road. And that's what this is. This is still another area of support or resistance based on if the candles are above and below, right? So let's say, for instance, you have this candle right here above which once was the resistance and now is the support. What happens when you start seeing a candle, right? It went up. Let's say it went up like this. It went up. Now you're above, right? You have a new area. You have this as your support. Now all of a sudden it starts doing this. Some people would look at this and say, man, I'm going to get in the sale. It's going to start going down. This is what the amateurs are going to do. It's going down. I'm going to get in the trade. Now they're getting in above the support level, thinking that it's going to go down, and they don't have an accurate, representation of it going down. I'm going to spread this out a little bit, right? So y'all can see that line, right? And then now they're in a sell above the support, when they're technically above the support, which means price action could continue to keep going up, but they just so interested in the sell, they have no idea how to identify resistance or support. Now they're triggering a sell right here. Now they're in a sell right here at this candle. But guess what happens? They get this candle right here, boom, and guess what it does? Somebody type in the chat what it does once it hits this area. It goes right back up. It shoots right back up. Why does it shoot right back up? Exactly. It's retesting the previous zone. It's at the support level. It's retesting the support. So now they're in a trade thinking it's going to go down. And guess what happened? They done got in right here. They're already in the neck. They're like, oh, it didn't hit this area. They're like, oh, man, dang. Now all of a sudden this happened. Woo. Woo. And now their sale is in the negative because it's shooting up like this on them. And sometimes it'll just drag you out and hit your TP, because maybe you got in on the sale here and you put your TP up here. Now it didn't hit your TP and created a new high. And it may continue to the upside because people are not understanding support and resistance. So it's so important for everyone to understand support and resistance. Any questions about support and resistance? Any questions about support and resistance? If that made sense to you, put fire hearts in the chat. If that makes sense, give me some fire. And if you have notes, superstar, queen, notes. So I ain't gonna play with y'all. Because I know y'all want to get rich. So guess what? I'm not gonna play with you. I know you want to get rich. So I ain't gonna play with you. How would you find support lines and resistant lines on the chart? If we're gonna cover that's another, we gotta, as long as we can get it here. I'm gonna cover that. But this is the blueprint, right? This is the blueprint. And that's a good question. I also saw in the Monera, I went into the Monera into the chart, and I clicked on something in the Monera, and it gave me these lines like this. It identified the zones for me in the Monera. In the Monera, it gave me those lines. I was like, man, oh, you gotta be, come on, man, stop Monera. That Monera, listen, it's things about the Monera that I still am discovering about how powerful the Monera is. But in the Monera, when I went in there, not in the monitor, because the monitor, it wasn't in the, it was in the chart. You know, the monitor is where you can do, it was in the chart. There's gadgets and buttons you can hit in the chart that will show you so much stuff in that Monera. It is ridiculous. It'll tell you whether the trend is strong or weak. So if you're trying to do a buy, which I'm going to cover with you guys now, or sales, if that trend is weak or strong, man, that Monera is, I'm telling you, man, it's amazing. Right? So we're going to cover this. So we good on this? Everybody good on support and resistance for the basic fundamentals? Okay, let me keep going. So now I want to slide on over to where I want to go with y'all next. Now that we know support and resistance, I'm going to slide over to the phone. We're going to slide over to the phone because I want to cover with you guys my blueprint and how this kind of ties in. Support and resistance definitely ties in. Oh, no. I want to stay here. I got something else I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys, well, I could show you on the phone though, but I don't want the charts to confuse you because the charts seem like they intimidate people. So I want to keep it simple. That's why I'm on this whiteboard. Where my eraser at? Hold on. I don't want to intimidate y'all with charts. That's why I'm doing it on this board. Hold on. That's why I'm doing it on this board. Hold on. I got you. Let me get it together for you. Hold on. Okay. All right. Where my eraser at? Because I want to cover something with you guys. My eraser, that's the vanishing marker, smart pen. Where my eraser? Vanishing pen? Hold on, let me find, oh, you know what? That's where it go. Y'all in the way. Let me move y'all out the way. Okay, so now that we got that, got support and resistance. Now, I want to show you something else. So I'm gonna leave these up. I'm gonna leave the words up here. Hopefully y'all got some notes on there. Right? So the next thing I want to teach you. Okay, good. Okay, so the next thing I want to cover with you guys is another key thing when it comes to my setup that I incorporate, which you need to know these things along with support and resistance. So what you need to know is, let me write it on this board. These are things you're going to need to know. Davina, are you taking notes? And if you tell me yes, you know after this call, when I talk to you, I'm going to ask to see it. So you better not lie to me. Are you taking notes, Davina? So I ain't got time to play with y'all. Y'all want to get...
I am.
All right. So the next thing you're going to need to know higher highs. I don't want to do all caps. Higher highs. Write this down. Oh, shoot. Hold on. You're going to need to know higher highs. You're going to need to know, can I keep going on here? Yeah, let me do this. Hold on. Let me go and hook it up for y'all real quick. Right? You're going to need to know how to identify, which I'm going to make this so easy for you guys to be able to know this stuff. Higher highs. You're going to need to know higher lows. Right? You're going to need to know lower highs. And you're going to need to know lower lows. Okay? You need to know these things. These are all very important things. And what I'm doing, guys, is I'm literally cutting all the fat out for you guys and giving you what you need. That way you can process it, digest it, practice it, implement it, and go get money. All right? You need to know what higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, and lower lows are. I'm going to give you an example of what that means. Okay? So let's say, for instance, I'm just going to do this as a line right now so I don't get you like all confused with the chart, like with using the candles, right? So I'm going to use a line chart. But let's say, for instance, the market was going up like this. Boom. And it did this. And then it went up and it did this. Boom. And it went up and it did this. Boom. And it went up and it did this. Boom. Right? So, dang. Did that thing just vanish on me? Oh, that was my vanishing pen? Hold on. Oh, my bad. All right, let me do it again. Let's say this went up here and it went right here, right? Maybe I should break it down for you. I'm going to do this. Yeah, let me break it down. I want to make sure y'all understand this. So right now, if the market was down and it went up and it went down, this would be a higher high, meaning this area right here, I'm going to put an HH. Should I type that? Make it easy for y'all? I don't know. I don't know how clean y'all want this. Right? Let's just say, dang, I didn't erase the other one. I hope, did y'all get those notes or y'all want me to retype it? Did y'all get the higher highs, the higher lows? Let me do this. Hold on. Let me go and put it back. Higher highs, right? Higher lows, right? Lower highs and lower lows. We'll get the higher highs, the higher lows, the lower highs, and the lower lows. Let me slide my thing over so I don't erase it next time. Hold on. Right? Let me slide my thing over. Oh, let me at least slide this over like this. There we go. All right. Right? So let's say, for instance, the market was down here. It went up here, meaning when it got to this area, it formed a higher high because at one point it was down here, which was a high, but it went up and it formed a new higher high. I need y'all pay attention to this, dog, because this is very important, and I do not want to lose y'all on this. A higher high. Now, when it came down to this area, let me get my pen. When it came down to this area right here, this area is above this area. So this would be called a higher low. So you have the higher high right here, and you have the higher low right here. It formed a new higher high, but it came down and formed a higher low, which means it's a higher low. It's still a It's a higher low. It's a low, but it's a higher low. If that makes sense, put a 1 in the chat. Because it's very, very important. I need y'all to really get this part. I do not want to confuse y'all. Everybody get that. You sure y'all get that? Okay, so if the market then goes up again and breaks beyond this area, this higher high, and it passes this higher high, to be clear, and it comes down here, what is this area, Davina, called? Type it in the chat or get on the mic, whichever you want to do.
Is it a new higher high?
Exactly. It's a new higher high because it went past the original higher high, the last previous higher high. And when it came down, but when it came down, it did not surpass the higher low. So this would be called what?
Still a higher high?
No, this would be called what? This area.
New higher low?
A higher low. If that makes sense, Queen, if you get that, put some fire hearts in the emoji, put some fire in the chat. If y'all get that, put some fire in the chat. Where are my other fires? Did I lose some people? Did I get all my fire hearts? I got 1, 2, 3. I got more people in here than 3. Where are my hearts? Where my fire at? Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anybody? Okay. I need y'all to stay with me because I don't want to do these trainings and then y'all say y'all don't know what y'all need to lock in. Okay, so to repeat it again, because they say good things comes in threes. If this market then goes up again and it comes back down here, Queen, what is this area called? What is that? Queen, you can type, you can talk. Whichever one you want to do. A higher high. And this area would be called what, Queen? A higher low. Perfect. Everybody get that. I hadn't lost anybody yet, right? I don't know where my guy Raul at right now. I hadn't seen him in a while. But everybody gets that. Now, we're going to take it the opposite way. Let's say, for instance, the market was up here and it went like this. And the market was up here at one point, but now it did. What would this be called if the market is doing the opposite? Superstar, Davina.
So if it's right there, that is actually a lower high? No, a lower low?
Try again.
All right, dude, let me see. That's not a higher low.
I can try. It's a lower high.
It is a lower high.
Mm.
You see, it is a lower high. The high was here at one point, but it came down and retested. It's a lower high, right? So, Davina, this area right here will be called what then?
That is the lower low.
Exactly. Exactly. So, if the market comes back up and it goes right here, then all of a sudden it goes back down again. Queen, what is this area called? Let me see who else we got on here. We got one of my other people in here. I heard that voice. Yep. Salome. Lower high, exactly. And so, Queen, if this area would be identified as what down here? All right, perfect. Lower low. Fellas, y'all stay on the lookout. I might be coming to y'all. Gotta make sure these ladies know what they doing though. Stay novice. Gotta make sure they right. Y'all stay on y'all P's and Q's. All right. So good things coming through. We're gonna do it one more time. It comes up here. It tests back down. Right? So LeMay, what is this?
It's a lower high.
It is a lower high. And this area would be identified as what?
Low. Lower low.
The lower low, right? If everybody is still with me, give me some fires in the chat. I do not want to lose you. I cannot lose you right now. I need you to know this because this is crucial when it comes to my setup, the world-class setup. You have to be able to identify these. And I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to do it. Now that we got the basics of this, now it's time to mix it up. Why? Because this happens in the charts all the time when it gets mixed up. And this is where people make bad decisions. This is when they enter sales when it should be buys. This is when they enter buys when it should be sales because they do not understand higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows. And they do not know the areas of resistance in the zones and the areas, they don't know these things. And so they're just looking at the chart. And when they see a green candle go up, they like, oh my God, it's been a buy. I gotta buy. And then they get themselves caught in a sale. And they get themselves in drawdown and they can't get themselves out because they do not understand this stuff. So pay close attention to what I'm going to tell you because I'm going to take both of these things. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to take both of these things and combine them together to show you what the market is doing sometimes. So now you can use what I just showed you to understand when to buy and when to sell based on understanding these two things. So pay close attention. Pay close attention. If you pay close attention, put close in the chat. Put the word close in the chat if you're paying attention. Okay, so pay attention. Watch this. So let's say it's a buy. You have a buy order. Let's say the market is doing this. It went up. It came down. Right? It went up. It came down. It went up. You see a strong green candle right here. And it's going up like this. Davina, should you take a trade in this area? Yes or no?
Take a trade? No. Well, no. Yeah, it didn't hit the resistance yet. So yes.
Is your answer yes or no?
Yes. I'm gonna say yes.
You would take a buy going up?
I would take a no.
What would you take?
I would take a sell because it didn't hit the resistance yet. If it hit the resistance, that's testing it, right?
Okay, so which area are you referring to is the resistance? This area over here?
Right there.
Okay, so let me evaluate what you're saying right now. So you're saying if the market was here and it came down here, and then it went up here and it came back down here and it went right here, you would take a sell?
I would take a sell, yes.
You wouldn't take a sell yet. But the
I'll
question, but I'm gonna give you like a 1.5 because I can kind of see why your mind said that. But I'm gonna revert back to the main question. The question that I ask is, if you had a buy order, to buy, and the market went here, it came down here, it came up here, it came down here, and it was right here, would you take a buy? Yes or no?
Yeah, I would take the buy.
You would take the buy?
Hmm.
Why would you take the buy?
Because, well, me, I probably would get out, get in and get out. Again, because it didn't hit the resistance. Once it hit resistance, we're like, stop it
Okay,
right.
so remember, so the buy is going up. Now, I want you to think about it. I want you to stop right there, right? Remember, this area is considered what? Support or resistance based on this chart?
Resistance.
Resistance, right? Because it's above where the candles are.
Right.
So if the candle is below it, the resistance, what would it use the resistance for? If it hits the resistance, based on your last previous examples, every time it hit the resistance, what happened?
It goes back down.
So why would you take a buy in this area?
So I would take the sell. I wouldn't do nothing, or I wouldn't do nothing at all. I would wait.
No. Stay focused. Stay focused. The question is, if the market, if Monera sent you a buy order and you saw this,
Right.
and it did this exact thing, would you take a buy in this area? Your answer is now what?
All right. Would I take a buy in that area? I would take the buy in that area. And then I'll just say yes.
Okay. Let's go to the next person. Queen, you up next. If the Monera sent you a buy order and the market went here, it hit this area, came down, hit this area, came down, and now it's on its way back up right here. Would you take an entry for a buy right here? Yes or no? No, don't give them no answers. Don't give them no answers. On the fence, what does that mean? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, so we got two yeses, one from Davina and one from Queen. They said yes. Let's move forward. Let's move to the next person. Who else do I want to call? Hold on. Let me go down this list. Hold on. I'll say right there. Solomon. If the market was here and went touched this area, came down, touched this area, came down, it's on its way back up. Would you enter a buy at this exact area? Yes or no, Solomon?
I would say yes.
You say yes? Okay. Next person. I'm gonna go down this line. Who else I want to call? Raul. I'm gonna call on you now. If the market was down here, it tested this area, went down. It tested this area, went down. It's on its way back up right here. Would you take the buy right here? Yes or no, Raul?
No.
No. Why would you not take the buy?
Because everybody else said yes. No, I'm just kidding. No. Why would I take the buy? Honestly, I'm barely learning this, but I'm gonna guess that because from there it's gonna go back down.
Exactly. Why is it gonna go back down?
Man, that's a good question. I don't have the answer to that, why it's gonna go back, but I just you have the feeling that it would go back down right there.
Okay, we're gonna go to the next person. Now let's go to Mike. Mike. He said that he would not take the buy because he believes the market would go back down. Mike, are you able to tell me why it's possible that the market may go back down? It didn't break the resistance. It did not break the resistance, guys. This is the first thing I taught you. Support and resistance. Remember the house? Remember the ceiling? Remember the floor? Here's the example. It went up. What did it hit, guys? The resistance. And what did it do and how did it react to the resistance? It went down. Then it went up again. What did it do? It retested the resistance, the ceiling. And how did it react to it? It went down. And not only did it go down, but look at this area right here. What is this area right here? Can someone tell me what happened right here? What did it create? Anyone? A what?
A lower low.
Exactly. So you have two different confluences telling you do not buy right here. Number one is the resistance. It did not break past the resistance, so you would not execute a buy because proof has shown you every time it's hit the resistance that it would go down. But before it even did that, it presented a new lower low because it went past this right here. And so it made a new lower low. So because it made a new lower low, that's already the first indication prices could possibly go down because it created a lower low. If that makes sense, put a 1 in the chat. Do not put a 1 in the chat if you do not get it. Put a question mark if you do not get it. Let me check my chat. Okay, so everybody sees that, right? That's why I said pay close attention because you have to understand this. Because this is where people make the mistakes all the time. They see the green candle going up and they like, I'm going to take a buy, but they have no idea. You're trying to go in a buy and you're right there where the resistance is. You're going to run smack dead into the resistance. And it's going to shoot down on you. Because number one, it created a lower low. See, this lower low. Right? So we're going to do another example. So pay close attention. Or do you want me to build off of this one? I can build off of this one if y'all want me to build off of this one. I can build off the same example. You want me to build off the same example? Keep this trade going? Because this is what happens in real time. The market is moving, it's doing different things. Okay, you want to build off of it? Okay. Let me see if my pencil gonna let me erase just the part I want to erase. Let me move y'all over here. Oh no, I could actually put y'all right here. Let me get my thing. I think it'll take this one off and then this one, right? So it created a lower low. Okay. It created a lower low. Whenever, number one, let me get organized over here and kind of give y'all another bullet point over here. If you're gonna be doing buys, if you're trying to do a buy order, like if you're trying to get in on a buy, you need to see a higher high and a higher, you need a higher low. If you're going to do a buy. Which I'm going to tie this all together and make it make sense for you guys even easier than this, but I'm covering some of these things that are fundamental, right? So if you're going to do a buy, you need to identify a higher high with a higher low. Not just a higher high by itself. You have to have the higher low because the higher low creates resistance. That's support. Creates support. The higher low creates support. And without the support, you can get a higher high and it comes tumbling all the way down because you never got the higher low. So when you're going to do a buy, you have to look for a higher high and a higher low. And the thing with the sale, if you're going to be doing a sale, you're going to be looking for a lower high and a lower low. Right? Now, I'm not going to build off of this one because I got a mixture in here and I got to break it in portions before I start getting too complex with y'all because this one already has a lower a lower low in here, and I'm skipping over another step, so I don't want to build off of this one just yet. I'm gonna erase this because I gotta keep y'all with me. I'm gonna lose you if I do that. I don't want to lose you. Okay, so we're gonna do a fresh example. We're gonna do another one. Pay close attention. Pay close attention. Okay, so we're gonna do this again. So let's say we have the candle is going up. It comes down. It goes up. It comes down. Right? It goes up. It comes down. Now, my question is, if the market is doing that, and Monero sends you a sale, would you take a sale in this area, Davina?
I knew you was gonna call me. Yes, I would take the sell in that area
You would take the sale? Why would you take the sale in this area?
because it looks like it's the way it looks, the pattern is gonna come back down and it's gonna go back up. But I would take the sell and put the stop loss at
Don't talk about stop loss right now. Just
right
you
there in between.
let's stay where we need to be. I don't want to lose you right now. Okay. Let me go to the next.
A little bit. I'm just
Queen. So Queen.
I would take it. I would take it, but I would take it and I wouldn't keep it in that long. But I would take it to
Okay,
make
so
a little bit of money in between.
okay. And Queen, so if the market was doing this, boom, going up, coming down, going up, coming down, going up, right here, would you take the sale? Yes or no, Queen? Yes or no? You there, Queen? Did I lose you? Are you thinking or you're not paying attention? Which one? If you are there, Queen, put a 1 in the chat. We'll see if you're paying attention. You were not there. You were not paying attention. I didn't get a 1 in the chat. I'm gonna move forward.
I'm here. I'm just getting home, like literally walking in. So
Not you, Solomon. I'm talking about Queen Terry. I don't see a response, Queen. Not paying attention right now. No response. Next in line. Guys, I'm teaching you stuff for free. These mentors gonna charge you. You're gonna have to take their courses. You gotta take the chart. You're gonna pay to learn this stuff. I'm doing it for free. All right, next. Let me see who else we got on this line. All right, let me see. Where my chart at right quick. Oh, let me see. Hold on. Let me see my participants. Who else we got? Let me see. Let me see. Mike. Market was doing this, going up, down, up, came down, went up, and in this area, would you take a sale? Yes or no, Mike? No. Why would you not take a sale? Exactly. because it's higher highs and higher lows. The example is right here to the left of y'all guys. Remember, this is the first thing I showed you. This is a higher high. This is a higher low. This is a higher high. This is a higher low. This just made a new higher high. So you would not take a sell because pattern is showing you the trend is your friend. It is going up. This is the example right here. You have to be able to identify higher highs with higher lows, higher highs with higher lows, higher highs with higher lows. Price action is going up. You would not take a sell because price action is showing you that price action is going up with higher highs and higher lows. If that makes sense, put fire in the chat.
Excuse me. Can you hear me?
Who is that?
It's Queen. My stuff froze. I was paying attention, sir.
You was
I
paying
couldn't do
attention?
anything.
Okay. Okay.
I was paying attention. I promise.
Okay. Because you know I ain't gonna play with you. Because you don't be playing with me. I ain't gonna play with
You better not play on me. I need
you.
this.
All right. Are you following along with this right now? Did you miss something right here?
No, I heard you. I just couldn't respond. I had to get on my phone real quick and log in.
Okay, but did you miss something right here? Because I gotta make sure you understand what we just covered so I don't lose you.
No, I'm good. You can proceed.
Okay. All right. All right. Higher highs and higher lows shows price action going up. That's why I drew this line here. So you can see price action is going up. You will not take a sell. Okay. I'm gonna go to another. We're gonna do another. Okay. Pay close attention. I'm giving y'all the warnings before I do it. Pay close attention. Okay, I'm coming back at you. Let's say price action did this. It came down. It went up. 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 Would you take a buy right here, Davina?
Yes,
Why would you take a buy right here?
because it's going up.
That's it. Okay, let's go to the next person because it's going up. Your answer so simple because it's going up.
It just makes sense to me. I don't know.
All right, next person. Let me call on somebody because it's going up. It's going up, y'all. It's going up. It's going up. Jaden, would you take a buy right here? No. Okay. Why would you not take a buy right here? I know it can be a little bit more tricky. Why would you not take a buy right here?
It did pass the previous structure point being the higher high, and now it's in the lows.
Exactly. Exactly. See, if you notice, first of all, let's look at the trend here. First of all, it came up, it went down, it came up, it made a lower low right here. So this is your first thing. It already made a lower low. So it's showing you that it has broken past this area here, which was once support. It broke past it. It did go up. It came down, and this was fine. It went up, but what did it do? It went past the last previous level right here, and it broke and made a new lower and made a new low. So this area right here, you would not take that because it's already shown you that it's gone created another low. It's like, no, this is not going to be a buy because it showed you, remember, higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. You don't see that in this chart. What you see in this chart is a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a lower low. You do get another higher high, followed with another higher low, and you do get a higher high, but you get a lower low. So because it went past this structure, you would not take a buy because you didn't get a higher low. Now, if it would have closed out up here, then yeah. But because it came all the way down here and broke past this structure here and went down here, you would not take this trade. And people get this confused all the time. They're not even aware that they're doing it. They have no idea that they're doing it. They're just doing exactly like you did, Davina. They're just seeing it's going up. That's it. It's going up. It makes sense. Buy. Buy. It's going up. Just buy it. It looked like it's going up. It looked like it's going to keep going up. So we're just going to buy it. But when you start understanding this, is when you'll start to be able to really understand that, man, no, I cannot do that. I can't buy this. I don't have my higher highs and my higher lows. And the same thing with the sell, the opposite way, when you need to have higher lows with lower lows, with lower highs with lower lows when you're doing a sell. Let's get an example over here. Let's give an example. So let's say, for instance, you're doing a sale, right? And let's say the market is doing this. It's going like this. Boom. It went up, down. It went up. It went down. It went up. It went down. It went up. Right? It's going down. Right here. Now, superstar, would you take a sale?
I would take this, looking at it, I would take the sell. But for some reason, I'm feeling like, you're like, no.
Let's see. Hold on. Hold on. Whiteboard that. Okay. Would you take the sale?
I would take the sell.
You take the sale?
I would take the sell.
Why would you take the sale?
Because it's going down. No, because it looks like it's breaking, it keeps breaking the area of resistance and dropping more and more.
Okay. Okay. Well, this could be a sale. This can definitely be a sale. Why? Because you are getting the lower highs with the lower lows. Lower highs with lower lows. Lower highs with lower lows. Now you have this pullback that has taken place where it's gone up. But this area right here could have been another confirmation, which we'll talk about more in more detail. But this could have been another confirmation that made you enter here because maybe you had a bearish engulfing or something, which we'll explain that later. So this could definitely be a sale where you got in this area. You don't technically need it to break past this structure because you have all the confluences to show you that, you know, you did it retested a certain area of support here. And maybe a bearish engulfing came in and you said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get in the trade here. And that could be fine as well too, because of the whole setup. Now, if you want to be precise, a person could wait until it breaks below this structure and then get in down here. But if you want to be more precise, you could wait until it closes and creates a new lower low and closes out and then get in the trade, which is probably what I would recommend you do because you're getting you're getting another confirmation of what we would call a confluence. Okay. If that makes sense, put fire in the chat. I want to make sure y'all with me. I don't want to lose y'all. I do not want to lose y'all. Let me make sure y'all with me. If you with me, put the fire in the chat. Let me see who with me. Let me look and see. Let me see what people talking about. Yeah, I'm recording it, Terrence. Okay, good, good. Y'all want to do another example on the sale?
Was that a trend, Chad?
Yeah, that's a trend. This is definitely a trend because the trend is going like this. Hold on. This is the trend. It's going down. You can see it. It's all slanted. You see? See, this bullish action is going up. So the trend is your friend. Write that on your notes. The trend is your friend. Matter of fact, say the trend is my friend. Below that, you can say trade with the trend. Trade with the trend. You have to identify the trend. Is the market going up? Is the market going down? And you can't just look at what the candles is. Oh, it's going up. Nope. You have to look at higher highs and higher lows if you're looking to see if it's going up. And if you're looking to see it's going down, you have to look for lower highs and lower lows. That is what's going to tell you. If you're seeing mixed things like I'm showing you, you have to be even more technical now. If you start to see a higher high, but the higher high then turned around and made a lower low, now you got to get more surgical with it because it's like you did get the higher high, but you got a lower low. You didn't get a lower high. See? So now you have to be patient and wait for the higher low to appear. So, so you have to be able to take these concepts and kind of mix and match them based on what the market is doing. And that requires patience. It requires patience. This is what's going to help you with your execution and your entry and how you're entering the market. Right? So let me go ahead and erase this here. Erase this here. Okay. Y'all want to do another sale? Let's do another sale. So let's say, for instance, you had the market right here, right? It came like this, right? It went down like this. It went up like this. It went down like this. It went like this. And it went like this. Queen, would you take the sale right here?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, and why would you not take the sale?
I'm thinking it's gonna go back up.
And why do you think it would go back up?
Hold on, let me look. Wait a minute now. Because it looks like I see two lower lows and then it went up. It just that's why I'm saying it is because it looks like it's gonna shoot back up. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, let's go to the next person. Who I want to call on? Raul,
Yes, sir.
would you take a
Sir.
sale in this area?
I would take a buy.
You would take a buy, and why would you take a buy?
Because I think it's going to go up from there because it's a dang it. Well, no, it's a lower low. No, it is a lower low. So it would be a sell.
So let me ask you this. Where is the lower low? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Or is it here? Let me give you points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Let me cover again. 1. Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 5? Or is it 6? Or 7?
Well, the lower, it went past the 5, so the 7 is a lower low.
Where here?
Yes, because the 5 was a low,
Okay.
and then it went past that low, and now it's lower low on number 7.
Okay. Okay. Let me go to the
That's-
next person. Let me go to the next person who I want to call on. Let me go with Terrence. Terrence. So if the market looked like this, would you take a sale?
I don't think I would because it's not well as I'm looking at it, it's not aligned properly with the lower lows, the lower highs and the lower lows. The point 3 is a lower low, but it doesn't come back down to that. So it goes up, then it comes down again, goes up, and then it comes down. But I would wait. I would wait right there to see what it's going to do from that point.
Okay. And if you were to wait, what would you be waiting for if you had to go to a sale? What would you be waiting for?
I would be waiting to see if it breaks that that resistance right there.
This resistance right here?
Right there, yeah.
Okay. 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 Let me keep going. Let me ask somebody. Let me see. Let me ask Jaden. Jaden, would you take a sale right here? Would you take a sale right here, Jaden? Somebody's unmuted. Mute if you're keep this thing clean. Thank you. Would you take a sale? Give y'all a little time to think about it. Yeah, I'm gonna give you another 20 seconds. Would you take a sale? You wouldn't? Okay, why would you not take the sale?
It's because the current structure point didn't surpass the third structure point, and the fifth structure point is still market structure. So there's like no way for it to, it's not going to surpass. It did not surpass that point, so there's no way for it to for us to take a sell. If anything, if it's hitting that previous area right there, I would most likely take a buy because at that moment it becomes a higher low. So I'm expecting it to go up to take a buy.
Go ahead, man. Preach that talk. Talk that talk, man. See, listen. Now it's a mixture. Now we're gonna get a little bit there. You're almost there. You're almost there. Almost there. You're almost there. But it still gets a little bit tricky. But you're almost there. We gotta tighten it up. I'm gonna cover that with you. Now, just for clarification, the reason why you would not take the sale, he was on the mark because number one, it created a lower low right here. So because it created a lower low, right? And then it went up and it created a higher high, followed by, like he said, a lower high. So yes, it did create a low, But even though it created the lower low, it was followed by a higher high, which was followed by a lower high. So because it created a new high followed by a lower high, you would not take this trade right here, even though it's going down, because it's already formed a new high and a lower high. So you would need, in order to take this sale, you would need this to break past. I mean, you do have this one though. This is why I said you're all right, because you saw this one, which is a lower high. You know, you saw this. So it's like you got the lower low and you did get this. So it's a little, this one's a little bit more advanced, but because we got the higher high with the lower high, you still you couldn't really technically use this one to say, oh, it's going to automatically go down yet, because you already got the higher high with the higher low. So technically you would have to wait patiently until it creates a new lower low and break past this structure. And to be more technical, which I haven't even got into that phase of it, once it closes below this structure, then you would be looking for a retest to this area, and then now maybe some type of bearish action. You know, you would wait for the retest and then the bearish action, and then you would get in somewhere in here for the sell.
On the sell, right?
Yep, on the sell. Yep. And this is how technical it's getting when I'm using what I'm going to show you. I'm going to slide over now. Okay. Anybody got any questions about this? While we're on this, anybody has any question? I know you're not going to get it 100%. I get it. But I'm going to make it a little bit more sense to you once we come over to the phone. But I didn't want to get too advanced. I don't even know if it's going to show me because it's the weekend. It may not even present. It may not even show them. I don't know. We'll see when I go to the phone. Anybody have any questions? If it doesn't show what I want to show on the phone, it may not, unless it's going to hold its positions over the weekend and still show it. I just got to see. But does anybody have any questions about this? I know y'all don't know it complete. I know y'all don't have it down to the science. So there's got to be a question. It has to be. It has to be. Somebody has a question because somebody doesn't all the way quite get it. Right? So it has to be a question. It has to be. Because everybody don't get it. So there has to be a question. So who has a question?
I guess on my end, I guess I kind of lost it when it went past the resistance line on the bottom.
Right here?
Yeah, like once it passed that, that's where I kind of got a little bit lost, to be honest.
Okay. So remember I showed you the house, right? And I said
Yes.
this is a floor level. This floor is considered the support, right? This is
Okay.
the
Yes.
support and not the resistance. Remember, the ceiling is the
Support.
resistance, right? The floor is the support. So by this candle coming down and making a new lower low right here from here, right? Because this was the lower low. Then it came and made a lower one now. This means in order for you to get in a sell, because it made a higher high up here, it formed a new high, which surpassed this area. And now it made a new higher high. Now you have to wait for other confluences to know for a fact, or not for a fact, but a higher possibility that it may go for the sell. And the only way you can get that confirmation is to see a new lower low that goes beyond this area where the lower low was. So now you need this candle to go from here all the way down to the area of support and go through the support, right? Because this area here is on the support. You need the candle to break through the support. At least break through the support and close through the support.
Right. Okay.
That make a little sense for you right there?
Yes, yes. I just missed the part about the house because unfortunately a call came in at that precise moment. But okay, it makes sense now. Yes, it does.
Just know if you have a house like this.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have a house like this, the floor is the support, the floor,
right,
where your feet is at. Let's say this is the ceiling. This is the resistance. You have to know support and resistance. The support is the floor because when it supports you standing up. The ceiling
Right.
is the resistance. If you jump and hit your wall, hit your ceiling, you're gonna bounce off the wall, right? Because you're off the ceiling because it's gonna give you resistance. So you have to know support and resistance. So that's why it's very important to know if the candle is closing above a support or below, because the same support is now going to be used as resistance. I'll give you, and let me make it make a little bit more sense for you. Imagine your house. Imagine a backyard, right?
Yes.
Let's imagine a backyard, a gate around the backyard, right?
Correct.
There's a gate that in that one gate, even though it's just a thin gate, it keeps one person in and it keeps the other person on the other side out.
Correct.
The
Got it.
person in the backyard can't go out because the gate keeps you in. But the person on the outside of the gate can't get in because it keeps you out. Make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes.
So the gate has the ability to do two things: give support and resistance based on what side you in.
Makes sense.
If you're inside the gate, it's giving you support because it's saying, hey, to keep you locked in, we've got support. You don't have to worry about anything. But if you're on the outside of the gate, it's going to give you resistance because you can't get in.
True.
So when you have support and resistance, that area, the gate would be the area of interest because it's the common place where everything comes together. But you have to know if the candle is above or below it so you can know what it's going to use the gate for. Is it going to use the gate as support or resistance? This is why I said you would have to wait until it goes past the area of support, because now you need to know it's on the other side of the fence. Make sense?
Yes, it does.
And to confirm that it's on the other side of the fence and it's going to stay on the side of on that side of the fence. This is what we call when the market goes from here and it goes down, it goes back up and hits this area. We call this a retest. I need to know you're going to stay on that side of the fence. So now I need to see you retrace and hit this area and bounce off of this area. So now I got more confluences. I seen that you went past the structure of support, and I've seen you retested the support and turn the support into resistance. So now I know you're on the opposite side of the gate. And now that you're on the opposite side of the gate, I'm going to look for a confluence, some type of bearish action, and get into the trade here versus up here, because the market could easily go up. Why? Because it came way down here and it went all the way up to a higher high, which is higher than this area. So it already lets you know it already has gone up and created a higher high from here. And it came down. And when it came down, it didn't come all the way back down to this area. It stopped right here and created a higher low. And you did get a lower low. And that's, a higher low right here. But this is not enough confluence to say, hey, I'm going to get in this trade right now, because you got the higher high, because it could have easily stopped right here and then continued to the upside.
True.
Makes
Okay.
sense?
Got it. Got it. Yes, sir.
All right. And the more times y'all hear this, the more it's going to start making sense, right? The more times you hear it, the more times it's going to make sense. Let me tell you how you hear it more. Go on YouTube, guys. Listen, what I'm showing you is on you. You can find somebody right now on YouTube when you're on your spare time and say, higher high and higher low examples, and it's going to be somebody on YouTube that's going to show you this, so you can watch it endless amounts of times to where you start understanding higher highs and higher lows. You don't have to wait for me to have a training. You can easily find this out over and over and over and over, and you can saturate yourself into where you just know what a higher high and a higher low is. You can take the little extra initiative, and this will change the game. Okay. So if that makes sense to you, go ahead and put some fire in the chat. Fire in the chat. Okay, he said he loves to enter the higher highs and higher lows. I'm going to show you how that actually ties into what I would call the world-class setup, right? All right, so everybody's good with this, right? What time we on? We're at 8:49. What time we started? How long we been going? We started at 7?
Almost 2 hours now.
Almost 2 hours now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, how y'all feeling right now? Y'all got a little bit more time? Y'all want me to keep going? If y'all want me to keep going, put some fire in the chat. If y'all want me to keep going, put some fire in the chat. Put some fire in the chat if y'all want me to keep going. Y'all might need a mental break. Y'all might be done. Y'all might be out of there right now. Are y'all out of there? Y'all still with me? Okay. Okay, so I had to cover that. Now, I'm going to go further with this thing to show you the world-class setup, but this is very important. I had to really get some foundation for you guys to show you how the world-class setup works. This is my own custom way of trading that I am still refining, but it's working like a charm. So let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Let me go into my screen share on my phone. Right, let me go into the screen share on my phone. Hold on, let me get this set up. Let me get this set up. Okay. Share screens. Here. iPhone. I'm going to the iPhone, y'all. I'm going to the iPhone. Let me slide it over. Let me get this right here. Okay. Now, if you're in this part of this training, I want you, I don't know if y'all are watching me on your phones, on your computers. If you're watching me on a computer, you need to have your phone up right now. And even if you're watching me on the phone, you're going to have to go back and forth or something. You're going to have to figure this out because I need you to actually be hands-on, you know, messing with stuff. We can't take trades right now, but that's fine. I want you guys to watch me, but I want you to somehow interact with your phones, okay? Because it's very, very important. So these are my trades for the day, or maybe for the week or so. I made about $5,200 today trading. Well, technically I had to not say today because the market is closed, so I had to not use today, but use like, you know, last couple of days. But these are my trades that you saw me execute. Don't mind the $13.59. That was actual mistake. And those are mistakes that you can easily make if you accidentally hit buy when you're not supposed to with the one-click buy, and that's what it was. And I just hurry up and close it out. So it kind of messed up my beautiful blues for the day, but it's okay. But here are my trades that I've taken for the day. Now I'm going to show you how I took these trades, right? I'm going to show you where it came from, how I took the trades. I'm gonna try to simulate it a little bit. I'm not really sure if it's gonna show everything because now it may not show me my higher highs and my higher lows using certain tools, but I'm gonna see if it does. If it doesn't, then you just gotta, you know, take what you can right now, right? So as you can see, I had 2 trades for the most part. I did 2 trades for the day. I did CADJPY and I did GBPJPY. Now, if this is your first time in MetaTrader, you should have already had, if you've been following along, remember, you're going to set up your Finesse FX account. You're going to download MetaTrader 5. You're going to log into your Finesse. You're going to search for Finesse FX. You're going to put in your login and your password so you can connect MetaTrader 5 to Finesse FX. If y'all remember that part, got that part down, put some fires in the chat. I want to make sure y'all don't lose y'all. Let me come check on y'all. Where y'all at? Right here. Let me go to my chat. Raul, okay. Queen, is that a fresh fire? Yeah, that's a fresh fire. Davina? Davina, you
Yeah,
better
I'm here.
don't play with me. Don't play with me. Where my fire at? Make sure them kids don't play with you. You know, them kids need to tell them kids leave you alone. Where the rest of the fire at? Who else I got? Right? Because we finna dive in, so do not miss this part, y'all. All right, so
I'm with you, but I don't have the fire icon on my phone because I don't have an iPhone.
okay, so we're gonna work on getting you rich so you can get you an iPhone. Okay, we're gonna get you an iPhone. You're gonna become iPhone. You're gonna be an iPhone lover. Write that down, put that in your notes. iPhone, get rich. I know you want to be Android. Queen, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't you do it, Queen. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. All right. Now, then we gonna keep going. Right. So once you're connected, right? These are my trades. Now I'm gonna show you how I set my trades up for the day. The first thing I do, guys, is when I'm getting my stuff set up for the day, I'm gonna always come here and I'm always gonna go to my back office. Okay. Tradevote.info. You go to whatever browser you use, right? I'm gonna return home. I'm gonna go to my economy portal, all from my phone. I do everything from the phone. I'm gonna slide in over here. I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna go to Forex. I'm gonna go to Monero. I'm gonna go to Monero. I'm gonna go access Monero. When I access Monero, let me turn my screenshot off real quick because I gotta put my code in, and I don't know if it's all gonna put y'all all in my business, right? So, right now, let me share back with you guys real quick. Let me go on back in here. I always do this first. Right, I always do this first. Today I didn't do it, but I knew I would be all right because I do it so much. I'm gonna tell you why I do it. The reason why I do this frequently. Hold on, sure, I don't want to make another one. I'm trying to get this settings off of here. That's my chart. I'm trying to get my bullish. The reason why I do this is because your Monero is tied to your Telegram because you get all the signals to your Telegram. But if you don't come in here, what will happen is your Monero, which is your AI, you're looking at the AI software. This AI software is a monster. This is my secret sauce. This is your secret sauce. This is your deadly weapon, right? As you can see on the screen, it tells me, hey, I want to have my successful patterns. I want to identify support and resistance. Send me bats and butterflies, which is the only things I need, which is the bat and butterflies, because these have the highest percentile when it comes to win ratio. These are somewhere around 80%, bats and butterflies. So you're pretty much telling your Monero, hey, you're connected to my Telegram, and I want you to send me every single time a bat or a butterfly completes, I want you to send it to my Telegram and give me the entry, the stop loss, the take profit, the targets. And send me the information on it to my Telegram. This is what you're telling your Monero. So you have to come into your Monero pretty often to make sure that your Monero does not idle out. So you technically don't have to do it every day, but if you get in the habit of coming here first every day, it'll make sure that you don't mess around and forget. And you go 4, 5, 6 days and you hadn't been in your Monero and you're only getting signals in the Telegram. And then all of a sudden you stop getting signals in the Telegram. And the reason why you're not getting signals in the Telegram is because you haven't went here and this has idled out. So now it's not communicating with your Telegram. That makes sense. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Did somebody say they can't see? Hold on. Mike, you can see now? Okay, you good? Okay. All right, so this is very important. I'm not going to get all into this part right here because then that's going to get even more longer training. I want to get into the setup with you guys, okay? So once you have this done, then what you do is you slide on over to Telegram. Okay, here's your Telegram. Now that you have your Monero activated, your Monero is going to send you everything that you told it to send you to your Telegram, and they're going to come through just like this. Now, you could have multiple sessions. You have Monero trade ideas and sessions, which is right here in the pink circle, that's like pro traders using Monero sending you signals. They do send signals. You can use those signals, but you don't know when those signals are going to come. Those signals are going to come randomly throughout the night when you sleep. They're going to come randomly when you're in the kitchen. They're going to come randomly when you're in the restroom. They're going to come randomly when you're driving in the car. They're going to come random. You know, you don't know when they're going to come. You can pay attention and use these, but I'm going to show you how to equip yourself with just the Monero itself, the FX bot, sending you tons and tons and tons and tons of signals. Why? Because now you can start getting into a time frame that you like to take trades and start trading within a certain time frame. So for me, my alarm goes off at 7 a.m. and at 7 a.m. I'm up looking at my signals for the day. I'm trading between 7 to probably about 11:30. And I'm done. I'm done. Unless something presents itself later on that night, because the market is going to close around 4ish or so. And then when the market reopens up later on that night, if I see some trades, I may take them. Okay. But I'm going to teach you Monero FX, this one, because this is what's going to empower you. Because as you can see, you get tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of signals. Now, so follow me. First, I want to train your eyes to identify what the type of trades. Yeah, they ding all day. Now, visually, I like to look at what I will call breakouts. Breakout means when price point just all of a sudden does something and goes up like crazy or goes down like crazy. It's not like gradually, it's some type of breakout. I like to identify breakouts. And when the chart sends me something just visually, even if you don't know what is happening on the chart, if you just see a breakout with your eyes, that's what the first thing that stands out to me, right? Is a breakout, right? Ladies, when you see a handsome man, he walks by you, you don't know nothing about him. But the first thing you see is his physical attraction, right? Like it's a breakout. You're like, oh, he's handsome. Same thing. Fellas, you see a beautiful woman. You don't know nothing about her. She could be a horrible person, but when you see her, the first thing you see is beauty. That's the breakout. When I look at these charts, the first thing I'm looking for is that initial spark of, hey, a breakout. So I want to train your eyes to see and identify breakouts, okay? If you with me, put breakout in the chat because I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose you. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. All right, Maurice, I see you pop in. All right, so let's look at breakouts. Now, this one right here looks really good. Why? Because look at where price action was, which is right here where you see the A is. You see that A right there? That's a lower low. See, look at the chart. Can y'all see that that's a lower low? Look at all the other candles and show me which one is the lowest candle of them all that you see in this screenshot. That would be A right here, right? So from that point all the way up, you can see what this green candle right here is done. It's gone up dramatically. So I kind of like to look visually when I see price action doing something like that. When I'm seeing like, man, it went up a lot or it went down a lot. Visually, these are things I look for, right? This one right here doesn't really spark my interest. It's not saying that it won't be a winning trade, but I'm just saying so far as a breakout, I don't consider this a breakout because it ain't nothing really broke out. I mean, it is on the upward swing, but I don't see a major breakout. These candles are real small right here. You know, not saying that this trade will not be a winning trade because it is a bat formation, but my eyes don't visually. I'm not really attracted to that. Make sense? I'm not really attracted to that. Does that make sense? Okay. So we're looking for breakouts. Look at this one right here. So Superstar, is this a breakout? Yes or no?
It looks like it, yes.
Why is it a breakout?
Because it broke through the line of resistance and kept going.
Okay. I can accept that answer. I'm not really sure if you understand what you were saying, but okay.
In my head, I understood what I was saying.
You made it sound really good. I like that. It did kind of break the area, but do you know what the area of resistance is? Where's the area of resistance?
It was beat where the area where the B is at.
You better
What-
got it, girl. All right. Okay. 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 I had to fact check to see, like, is she just shooting a shot right now? Or is she saying something that's really making sense? Okay.
That's messed up.
Okay. The B area was an area of support and resistance because you can see that it did it a couple times. So I definitely like that answer. But on the short things, just that was a little bit more technical, but just on the eyes, you see this strong red candle right here. Just visually. Look at the dramatic on this. It's so dramatic. What goes up must come down. What goes down must go up. So whenever there's a breakout, there's always going to be somebody taking profit or somebody getting a stop loss hit. So I look at things like this visually, right? Okay. So, Queen, would this be considered a breakout? Yes or no?
Where you talking about?
This chart right here I'm looking at, is this a breakout?
I would say no.
Okay, why not?
I see a lot of, well, I don't know. It looks like it's staying in the same area,
Okay.
same zone.
Good answer. Good answer. It's consolidating. It's kind of like in the same area. Not saying once again that this trade is not it would not go up, but it's not initially a breakout. This is not a breakout trade. It doesn't mean that it won't do what it needs to do. The Monero is identifying a bet. But when I'm picking what I want to trade, I'm looking for things that's going to break out. Right? I'm looking for breakouts. So this is not something that I'm technically interested in.
Chad, quick question. So
Yeah.
those little short wicks make a difference, right? When they're short like that?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
You know, they definitely do. And wicks make a difference based on if the wick is at the top or the wick is at the bottom. If the wick is at the top, it's showing you that it tried to go up and it whipped price, pushed it down. And so it couldn't form a full candle going up. And if the wick is below, it means it tried to push it down, but the buyers came in and said, no, we're not going to let you push it down. So it could not form a full candle going down. And when you start understanding the wicks as well, you can now start looking at wicks and you can start understanding, adding that to your confluences as well too, looking at the wicks. Say, hey, man, I got a strong wick to the bottom, a strong wick to the top. I got a higher high, higher low. You can start putting these different confluences together to get a better entry or to decide whether you want to be in or out on the trade or if you just want to sit on the sideline. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's look at this one right here. Who I want to call out? Maurice. Since you just popped in, I'm not really sure when you popped in. But I'm gonna call on you because I gotta throw you in the fire real quick. I gotta see where you at with it because I don't know. Maurice, have you traded before? If you traded before, yeah, let me know if you traded before. I'm trying to see where you at. Have you ever traded before? Yes or no?
You know, I tapped into it for a little bit, but I haven't, I've never physically just jumped in, it was kind of like hopscotch. I kind of, jumped in a little bit, but not too deep.
Okay, not too deep. But have you used like MetaTrader 4 or like inter-trades before and stuff?
Yeah, I'm familiar. I've had the app like MetaTrader,
Okay.
a little bit more of like Forex.
Okay, I got you. I was just
Yep.
trying to see where you at so I can kind of know, how to help you out. So on this trade, right,
Okay.
on this chart right here, does this look like a breakout to you?
I mean, it's definitely breaking somewhere.
Yeah.
I would say it looks like a breakout.
Yeah. I would say it too, because the dramatics of it from that higher
Yeah,
high.
you can see at the top there. Yeah.
You see? Oh, look at them strong green, the red
Look, the
candle.
red candles. Look, yeah, the red candles right there.
And not only that, but look at it just kept going down as well, like down, down, down. So these is it's definitely dramatic, right?
Mhm.
It's definitely dramatic. So, I'm just trying to help y'all identify the
That's
vision,
good stuff. I appreciate it.
with what I'm looking at. No problem. Okay, so for me, guys, when I'm just looking, when them trades are coming through, that's what I'm training my eyes. I'm like, oh, this looks good. What is this? Breakout. Right? I'm just showing y'all visually. Get the breakout eyes. Breakout. Get the breakout eyes. Because you get tons and tons of signals, and you got to know which ones that you're attracted to. Because you can't trade them all. Because you're gonna get so many of them. So you might as well choose the best of the best. Or the ones you like the most. Right? You don't have to choose what you might as well choose the best. Or the ones you think, got just look better, give you the best bang for your buck. So I like to look at breakouts. This week we had a lot of, stuff that happened that's like, these could be strong too, though. I ain't gonna lie. These right here could be very powerful. When you start seeing them like this, but they kind of, the butterfly wings start being like equal. They kind of look the same like this, tight like this, nice and tight and structured. These are really good as well too. So, if y'all still with me, put fire in the chat. We're gonna go to the next level. We're gonna go to the next thing. We'll start piecing this stuff together for y'all. So everybody got the if you got the, let me make sure y'all with me. If you got the breakout eyes, put the eyeballs in the chat. If you got, where the eyeball? We got eyeballs in here? I don't know if we got the eyeballs. I might be trying to. Oh, you got the eyeballs. We got the eyeballs. We got the eyeballs. You just looking around, put that one. All right. So we're training our eyes to identify what to choose from the Monero. Your pick of the litter, right? No wrong or right answer, but I'm just giving y'all my sauce. This is what I do. Now, the way that I've customized my trades, when I get it from the Monero, number one, I got to see a breakout. I got to look at it for a breakout. Now, when I get that trade, I am looking for confluences. Confluences, aka confirmations. Do I want to go to the chart or do I want to go here? For notes, y'all might need it in your notes. I may have to go back to my whiteboard just to give y'all the notes. Let me do that real quick so y'all can put this in your notes. Hold on. Let me go and share this with. Let me go back to my whiteboard. I gotta go put some new work in for y'all real quick. Hold on. New whiteboard. Oh shoot, this is a new whiteboard. Hold on. Is it right? Oh, this is. Oh, I think this is the other board. Let me see. Yeah, this is. I had a different one last time. I like that other one, but all right. So put this down in your notes. Right, you're gonna need your confluences. I don't know if that's right. I think that's right. Confluences, right? So there's certain confluences that you want to have every single time you take a trade. Because you have to start getting structured, right? Everybody knows Stephen Curry. Why is he the greatest shooter of all time? Because he shoots the same way every single time. He's practiced how he plays, and his shot is so accurate because he shoots it the same way every single time in his butter. So what you're going to have to do is when you go into your Monero, you get this signal. The first thing I want you to do is check the weekly. Check the weekly chart. I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to show you what that looks like too, so don't worry. Check the weekly. Check the weekly chart. Right? The second thing you're going to want to do is check the daily chart. Okay, and I'm going to show you what that looks like in MetaTrader 5. You want to check the daily, and you want to check the weekly, and you want to check the daily. Why? Because if Monero is telling you to buy, remember, the trend is your friend. You should have that written down. Trade with the trend. If the trend is going up, you want buys. If the trend is going down, you want sell. So if the Monero sends you a bullish chart saying go up, let me give you an example. Well, okay. If it's telling you they want you to buy, you're going to go to the weekly. Okay, you're going to go to the weekly and see, is it bullish for the week? Right? Because you're stacking on confluences, aka confirmations, and you need multiple confirmations before you enter a trade to ensure the trade goes into your favor, or at least give you a high probability that the trade is going to go in your favor. The first confluency that you're going to get, well, let me just do it in this order. I'm going to make this 2. I'm going to make this 3 to break this down to you. The first confluence you're going to get is the Monero, the bat or butterfly. Right? You're going to get the bat or butterfly. This is when you looked at the charts I was seeing, you were seeing them shapes, the little green shapes. Those are bat patterns or butterfly patterns. Because remember, I showed you in the Monero, all right, Terrence. I showed you that I programmed it to only send me bats and butterflies. Right? So the bat, when it sends you a signal, just know that that's already one confluence because it's showing you this is the very first confluence. A bat or a butterfly has appeared. Now, that's only one confluence. You need other confirmations, aka confluences. So the second confluence you're going to look for is the weekly chart, which I'm going to show you on MetaTrader 5. You click on weekly and you look at the chart. And if you see higher highs and higher lows and the chart's going up like that, you know, oh, it's bullish for the week. That's a second confluence. Now you go to the daily. Look at the daily. If the chart is going up for the daily, oh, it's bullish also for the day. Right? So there's a setup. I'm always looking for at least 2 of those to match, to be in sync. So if I look at the weekly and it's bullish, I'm also going to look at the daily to see if it's bullish. If I can get the weekly and the daily and they're both in the agreement, then I'm like, oh, I got the bat and the butterfly plus the weekly and the daily is in the same trend. If that makes sense, put a 1 in the chat. Because I do not want to lose you right now, because now we're really getting into the meat and the potatoes. Right? I got the Monero. Monero telling me to buy. 1 confluence. I went to the weekly. It's bullish. 2 confluence. Does the daily match the weekly? Oh, it does? 3 confluences. You're moving along. You're moving along, right? Now we're going to go and look now and say, okay, now let's go to the chart. Oh, Monero sends me a 5-minute chart, which I'm going to show you in just a second. Right? They show you a chart, but I'm on my pad because I got to put this so you get your notes. Right? So you get your notes. Now I'm going to go to the chart. Monero showing me a 5-minute chart and telling me to enter in at this key area. But before I just enter in, now I got to look at the chart and look for some confluences. I already got 3. I got the bat book, I got the weekly, I got the daily working in my favor. They want me to enter, but now I got to see when to enter. Now I got to look for higher highs, higher lows on this buy. I got to see something. I got to see something that's going to, I got to look at the chart and get another confluence. And we're going to use some examples here and see what I'm going to, what you're going to see. Now, if it's on a buy, you may be looking for, that means the market is probably down and you're looking for it to go up. It means you're probably not going to get a higher high just yet unless you wait patiently, but you may be looking for a bullish engulfing. I hadn't really covered a bullish engulfing. Let me cover that real quick because this is something you definitely going to need. Bullish and bearish engulfing. I'll make this real simple. Okay. I probably need to use colors. Now I'm just going to do it I'll use colors. Hold on. Okay. So let's say, for instance, price was going down. Let me make sure I got my pen. Let's say the prices was doing this. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let's say prices was doing this. Right? It was going down like this. Right? Price was going down. Now you trying to do a buy, and it's telling you, get in right here. The Monero may be telling you get in. But instead of you getting in, you can look for another confluence. You can say, well, I want to make sure that this market is going to go in my favor. So I'm going to wait for what we call a bullish engulfing. A bullish engulfing is when a green candle comes and surpasses the last two previous candles. So when the green candle does this, you may wait and not get in right at the moment where Monero is telling you to get in at, because maybe you want to just make sure you know it's going into the favor. So you would wait for a bullish engulfing. A bullish engulfing is when you have a green candle that surpasses the last two previous red candles. If that makes sense, put a 2 in the chat. A 2 in the chat. 2 in the chat. That's a bullish engulfing. Okay? Now, we're going to slide over to the next example, right? Draw this out on your notebook. You need this. I'm telling you, this is a deadly weapon. Draw this out. Bullish engulfing. When a candle engulfs the last two previous candles, you need the engulfing. It's very important to have that. So, I'm going to matter of fact, let me test you. So, superstar. So, let's say you had a red candle right here. Right? Price action doing this. It's going down. It's going down. You get a green. Let me get you a green candle. You get a green candle and it does this. Let me get my green. Let me get my green. Right? Let's say it does this. Would you take a buy right here? Yes or no?
If I was waiting for the engulfing, then yes.
And why would you take the trade right here?
That part, I'm not sure.
Okay, but you would take a buy right here?
I would take a buy right there only because it. Now you're gonna have to explain that one. I ain't even gonna say only because I would do it, but I can't tell you why I would do it. It just looks like I should do it. So I got explain to me why I should do it. Or
Okay, let me go to the next person. Let me go to the next person. Let's go to the next person. Queen, would you take the buy right here? Yes or no?
Yeah,
Why would you take the buy right here?
I'm saying what she's saying. No, seriously, because I mean it's engulfing. You know, I mean, like it's bullish right here.
Is bullish? This a bullish engulfing?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go to the next person. Solomon, would you take the buy right here? Solomon, are you there? Is Solomon there? Going once, going twice. Solomon may not be there. Let me move to the next person. Raul, would you take the buy right here?
I was just writing on the chat. For some reason, I only see a blank white screen. I can't see any drawings, nothing. I don't know what happened.
Okay, you got you know what? Okay, so dang, you can't see that?
I just sent you a screenshot on the messages there on chat, but it's a blank. I don't know what happened.
Okay,
Not
hold
sure
on.
what happened. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me do this then. Hold on. Let me, because it's another one that okay, hold on. Let me do this. Hold on. Let me stop sharing. Hold on, y'all. And then hold on. Close the whiteboard. Let me do this one. Let me see. There is, which one was it? Let me see. Oh, existing whiteboard. Let me see. Oh, wait. Hold on. Share. Which one was it? Was it this one? Let me see. Can you see this one?
Uh, Let's see, I can see that one. It's just, it says high lows,
Yeah.
low
Okay.
highs.
So let me put the example right here. Let me put the example right here because there's two different whiteboards and some people can't see that other one for some reason. All right, so I'm finna do this one again. I'm gonna put the same example right here. Let me do I got my colors though? Yeah, I got my colors. Okay, so I'm gonna use a red. Let's say, for instance, you have a red candle right here. It's doing this, right? And then it's doing this. Let's say you have another one that do this, right? You got two candles, one going down, one going down. So what I was explaining is a bullish engulfing is when you have a green candle that surpasses the last two previous candles like this. This is a bullish engulfing. Okay.
Okay.
It engulfs the last two previous candles. I was asking if you had a candle that did this, if you were looking at two candles and there was one like this, and then you had another one like this going down like this, right?
Mm.
And then let's say, for instance, you had a green candle. The green candle did this. Would you get in a buy right here?
Yes, I would.
Okay, and why would you?
Because I believe, taking a guess, honestly, is they hit the support and going back up,
Okay, okay,
and it surpassed the lower low.
okay, okay, okay. Stay right there. Let me ask the room. Let me check the temperature of the room. Let me see what everybody else thinks here. Rodney, are you there?
Yep. I'm here. That's me.
Okay, so in this example, this is a bullish engulfing. And if the market had these two bear candles here and it had this green candle here, would you take a buy here?
I have a bias, but I'll take a sell because I would think it's a retracement of the breakout.
Okay, so your answer to the specific question, would you take a buy right here?
Or sell?
You would not take a buy right here?
No.
Okay. All right. So let me ask somebody else. Who else? Mike. Would you take a buy right here? Mike there? I don't think Mike is there. So I'm gonna come back to you. Hold on.
He put it in the, he wrote it.
Oh, he wrote it. Let me go on my chat. Hold
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, not yet. I will wait a little bit.
Okay, you will wait. Okay, okay. And why would you wait? What are you be waiting for?
For another confirmation of a buy. That one's not too strong just yet.
Okay, and why is it not too strong?
Because it didn't pass the second candle.
Exactly. It's not a bullish engulfing. It did not surpass the second candle. This is the answer I'm looking for. This is a bullish engulfing, and you have to train your eyes to understand when you see a bullish engulfing. This was not a bullish engulfing. This was actually a bearish action because you got a lower low like Rodney, but like Rodney, I'm not know I'm saying your name right. Rodney?
Rotimi.
Rotimi. Okay, yes. She was correct because she identified, oh, the candle.
Sorry, I'm a he. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So he
Thanks.
identified that in this area. Let me get my pen here, right? You had the red candles here, right? So, oh, let me get my black. Hold on. Let me get my black. I need my black for this. The reason why he said he would take the sell because he recognized, okay, this area right here is producing higher lows, followed by a lower low, followed by a retest. So I would still not take the sell though. I want to be accurate. I would not take the sell just yet, even if this is a retest, because I would be waiting for a bearish candle. I would be waiting for something bearish to happen for me to actually take the sell. I have the lower low, but I would need to know that this price point is going to go down for me to take the sell. So I like your answer, but it gets a little bit more technical. But I do like your answer because you did recognize that you were still in a bearish market, is what you recognize, which is absolutely correct. But to answer the question, no, you would not take a buy because you have not seen a bullish engulfing. And the answer was right here in front of you guys because I gave you the answer before I gave you the question. The bullish engulfing is when it surpasses the last two previous red candles. So this was technically not a bullish engulfing because it only surpassed the first candle. It did not surpass the second candle. If that makes sense, put a 1 in the chat. 1 in the chat, 1 in the chat, 1 in the chat. And this is the difference between people losing and winning trades. The first example was the same. It did not surpass the second candle, even on the second example, on the first example, because I made sure it didn't, because I wanted to see if you would recognize that. And so just train your eyes to know that it has to pass the last two previous candles. Very, very important. Okay. So now what I'm going to do now that we have this and you put these down in your notes. So, and let me flip it the other way. I got to flip it the other way just for the sake of it. So let's say, for instance, it's the opposite. Let me get my green. Right. So let's say you have price action going up. Right. It's going up. Well, before I do that, hold on. Let me get, it's going up, right? Before I do that, it's going up. This is what you would call a bearish engulfing. So let's say, for instance, you get a candle and it does this. This would be a bearish engulfing. So you have a bullish engulfing and you have a bearish engulfing. Y'all with me? Pay attention. I know y'all need a break. Because if I take a break, I'm gone. So look, bearish engulfing. So let's do a little pop quiz. So let's say, for instance, if you had, let me get my green. Let's say, for instance, if you had a candle going up like this, right? It's going up. 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 Right? It's going up. And then let's say, for instance, you had a candle that did this. Superstar. Would you take let me get my pencil. Would you take a sale? Where my pencil at? The pencil didn't vanish on me. Where my pencil at, man? Where'd my pencil go? Right here? Oh, here we go. Would you take a sale right here? Yes or no?
Okay, so let me see. I see a higher low, higher low, higher. I don't see it. It didn't break anything, so it could possibly go back up. So no.
Okay. Okay. Queen, what about you? What do you think? Would you take a sale right there?
No, I wouldn't.
Why would you not take the sale?
It didn't go down far enough for me.
Well, I love y'all. Y'all answers be
Look, that's the best way I can say it.
but y'all answers be giving. So good. All right, let me keep going. Let me keep going. Solomay. Is Solomay there? I don't think she there, right? I think I called on her. I don't think she dozed off. Mike, is Mike there? Can we get one for Mike? Mike, are you there?
I'm here, but I got pulled away. So whatever question you asked, please, I don't know the answer.
Did you hear the question, Solomay?
No, I didn't hear your question.
My question is, if you had these candles, this green candle, this green candle, this green candle here, followed by this red candle, would you take a sell?
No,
Why not?
because I have no idea what it is on the screen.
Oh man, look, this is the weekend. Oh, gotta love it. Raul, would you take a sell, Raul?
You know, I had something humorous to say. Can I make a call? Like a Who Wants to Become a Millionaire, right? That show. Oh man.
Y'all want a lifeline?
Yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Man. You know, I really don't know, but I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So you just on question mark right now? You don't know right now. You don't know. We're going with a question mark right now, right?
I'm thinking the answer is in that first drawing you did, just
And
like in the previous.
And what is that? What do you mean by that? Explain that.
Where it passed the first low, the candle went down past the first low. But the second one,
Okay, I kind of see what you're saying.
yeah, past the first one and the second low.
Okay, right. So what?
And
So in other words, what are you saying? So if you were to take a sale, what would you have to see happen before you took the sale? Then
going past the first low on that second picture, like past that first green candle, go past that.
Go past. Hold on, let me get my pencil. Go past what? This one?
That one, yes.
Okay. So you want to see it go past that one? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Who else? Let me see. Who else? Who else is on? Anybody else on? Jaden. What about you? Would you take the sale at this area? Let me see if Jaden paying attention. Let me see. Would you take the sale at this area, Jaden? I think Jaden may be AFK. Let me see who else we got on here. Who else on here? Mike. What about is Mike? Mike didn't respond, right? I think Mike.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so would you take the sale in this area right here?
So with this one, I would be sell bias, I guess, but I would still wait. I would wait for more confirmation. I would wait for it to break the low, the engulfing sell candle.
Exactly. Okay, so I think Raul, you were on it. Mike is on it. What you would need is a engulfing candle. Remember, in this example, this red candle surpasses the last two previous candles. So technically, if you want to get in a sell in this trade, you would wait until this candle, you would wait patiently, surpasses the next previous candle here. Does not technically have to go past the third one, but it has to cover at least the last two previous green candles. So you would wait and then you can get here. Now, Raul, your answer was fine because obviously you said, I'm going to wait until it goes past the third candle. And that's very bearish as well too, right? So that answer is fine as well too, but you definitely want to wait until at least gives you past the last two candles, last green candles, if that makes sense. Put fire in the chat. I'm gonna tie this up and wrap it up into both of y'all. Nah, you didn't say that. You didn't say that. You didn't say that. Well, no, you kind of said, no, I don't remember exactly what you said.
I did say that. I said it ain't going down far enough for me.
Yeah, you
It
said
gotta
that.
keep going.
Yeah, you said that. I'm gonna give you
That's what
credit.
I meant. I can't say it like y'all said, but that's what I meant. That's one for the books.
All right. It didn't go down far enough. I'll give you credit. It didn't go down far enough, but I needed you to say it did not pass the last two previous candles because when you're trading in the chart, you say it didn't go down enough. I mean, what's not going down enough? It could have still it could have been eye level with level 2. And is that enough? Because if that would have been your enough, that could have still been wrong. So I need you to precisely say it did not surpass the last two previous candles. It did not engulf. That's why it's called an engulfment. It did not engulf the last two previous candles, and that's what it must do. It must engulf it. It can't be the side by side with it. It has to engulf it. It can't just barely go over. It has to engulf it. It's very important. Yeah, it did not engulf the last two previous candles. Exactly. Okay, so now I'm going to slide back over to my phone, okay? I'm going to slide back over to my phone. I'm going to stop sharing here. I'm going to slide back over to my phone for y'all. Screen share. Let me go over to my phone. Okay, let me slide back over to my phone. I'm going to give y'all these other confluences. Right? So right now you should have how many confluences? Let's recap right now. Monero sends you a bat and butterfly. That's one confluence. Spot check. Let me see who I want to call on. Monero sends you the bat and butterfly. That's one confluence. Davina, after it sends you the bat and butterfly as one confluence, what's the next confluence that you should be looking for in your MetaTrader 5?
Hold on, let me put my notes. So the second one would be oops, my bad. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I tell you, you check the weekly chart.
There you go. There you go. That's the second confluence you're looking for. If you get that, then you can add that as a confluence. Queen, if you do get that, what's the third confluence that you're looking for?
We're checking the daily chart.
Checking the daily chart. Exactly. Now, let me throw a little twist in here. Sometimes you can look at the weekly and the weekly does not match the daily. But remember, you need at least 2 of them in sync. So if the daily and the weekly does not match, let's say now you're looking, okay, the daily and the weekly does not match. So because the daily and the weekly does not match, let me scroll down over. Let me go into my chart so I can give y'all a visual demonstration of this, if I can. Here's my chart at the top. If you see at the top, you have the M1, that's the 1 minute, the M5, 5 minutes, the M15, 15 minutes, the M30, 30 minutes, the H1, 1 hour, H4, 4 hours, the D1, the daily, and the the W1 is the weekly. If you come to the weekly, Superstar, is this a bullish or bearish trend for the week?
My
Davina?
bad. I thought I was off of mute. I said, wait, and I said, that's bullish.
Okay. Overall, this is bullish. Now, it can get a little bit more technical, but to keep it simple, so you can process what this is, ultimately, it's bullish. Now, I can start getting into the new lower lows being formed, and I can start getting very technical, but I don't want to lose anybody. So we're just going to say, ultimately, we're just going to say, okay, it's bullish. We had higher highs, but I do see the new lower low right here with this long green candle right here, which could suggest if you want me to sell, I can start taking a look at this, but I don't want to get too advanced for you guys because I don't want to lose you. Okay. So I just want you to look at the overall trend. The overall trend, it looks like it's going up. Okay. I'm going to leave you right there until I go and get more advanced. For people that's a little bit more advanced, they'll probably zoom in and say, hey, man, but that lower low, I see that new lower low formed right there. You know, but you did get a higher high, right? You did get a higher high. So we're just going to say bullish, right? You look at the overall. So once you get the weekly, you go to the daily. Now, is the daily bullet, if the daily bullish or bearish, Queen?
It's bullish too.
Is bullish?
Well, it's starting to look bearish at the end though.
Okay. Why is it starting to look bearish?
It's going down.
What makes you say it's going down? What's making it go down?
I'm looking at it pushed down. Hold on. I don't know how to say it, but I mean, you see the last, was it 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks? They're going downward. So that's bearish.
They are going down. Okay, so I'll give you the bearish. That's a good answer. Now, this is very, so the weekly is not technically matching the daily. Now, if I get more advanced, I can kind of see some other things in there, but I don't want to lose you. So I'm just going to keep it this simple. But so people get the concept, right? You want to have a match. So let's just say it does not match right now, right? The weekly is showing something bullish. The daily is showing bearish. They do not match. When this happens, then you can go to the 4-hour chart. Now, when you look at the 4-hour chart, is this, who I want to call on? Solomon. Is this bullish or bearish?
It is bearish.
Exactly. So now you have what? You have the daily showing bearish, and you have the 4-hour showing bearish. So now you have two of them that match. So if Monero sends you a sale, you say, oh, I got the sale, which is one confirmation. The weekly is bullish, but I did get the daily and the 4-hour bearish. So if I say the Monero is one confluence, the daily is another confluence, and the 4-hour is one confluence. See, always start up high and work your way down because the higher times are way more respected than the lower times. So you can say, man, I really don't have the weekly the way I really want to, but I do have the daily and I do have the 4-hour in sync, right? So you can use those confluences. Now, I could get a little bit more technical with you guys and get into the weekly and also say, hey, but I did see this lower low form right here. I could say I did see this lower low form right here. Now, I did get a higher high, but I did get a lower low, but I don't want to get that technical. So you just go with the daily and you go with the 4-hour and say, man, I got the confluence. That's 3 different confluences. Now, I want to add something into here that I have not really broken down to you guys. Remember, I was talking to you about higher highs and higher lows. I want you to look at my screen right here because it's very, very important. You will see gray triangles pointing up and pointing down. If you see the triangles, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat because now we finna really, really get in. We finna really start wrapping this thing and putting it together, right? These are what you call fractals. Fractals. If you need to add this into your MetaTrader, All you do is click on that F at the top of the middle of the screen. It's between that little cross and the square, circle, and triangle. You hit the F right here. Go ahead and do that now if you can, if you're on your MetaTrader 5. And hit fractals. Hit done. When you do that, it's going to start adding fractals into your charts as the chart play out. I don't know if it's going to do it automatically. If you're pulling up a chart, you can pull up any chart if you want, or you can just pull up this chart, GBP, JPY. Let me cover that real quick. If your first time ever getting in Monero, when you come down here to the bottom, quotes, charts, trade history, and settings, you'll see charts. You'll see these charts right here. This is where all your pairs are. If you need to find a pair, you can search for it in here. Just put GBP, or what I'm going to teach you to do is just to clear everything out and redo it. If you swipe right here, if you take any one of these pairs and swipe, you can hit the trash can and delete it. You can delete all the ones that you see in there that already came stopped, already in there. And what you can do is click up here at the top left where the sandwich bar menu, oh, not right here, but you can click right here where it says enter symbol. And you see you have these different folders. You have exotics. It says Finesse FX Pros. These is where your majors would be. Wait, no, is there any majors? Metals. Well, see, mine's gone. You're probably gonna see. Yeah, I think it's gonna be in here. Your because mine's gone, because mine's already preloaded. That's why I'm saying that. But just come in here and you can add them in the order in which they are, because it'll make everything all organized. Your GB, in this example, when you're looking, GBP, all the GBPs are going to be together, the CADs are going to be together, and you can add everything just in the exact order in which you see them. So that way, when you hit these plus signs here and they vanish, they're going and loading into the area where you deleted everything, but it's putting it in order for you. And it'll keep you organized. If you look at my chart right here, you'll see how everything is organized. You do your majors, and then you go down to the next folder where your minors are, which I already got my stuff loaded, so I can't show you. It's my stuff all loaded. But I normally would go in there and do the folder for my minors, for my majors, and then do everything that's in my minors. And what will happen is when you go to your quotes, look at my stuff. I have my majors. My major pairs are at the top. And then my minors are all together. You see AUDs, all the AUDs, the CADs are together, the euros are all together, the GBPs are together, the NED, and it's gonna make it organized for you. So when you start getting trades from the Monero, you're not scrolling through everything trying to figure out where the pair is. If you do it all nice and organized, it's gonna make it nice and neat for you. You know what I'm saying? So. And Queen actually helped me discover that, because she was like, is it a way to keep it organized? And so then I found a way how to make it organized. So
I had to get up for 2 seconds. I missed that one little part. How did you organize it?
You just, if you're in quotes right here, it's going to already come stop. Just swipe. Just swipe and delete all of these out. It's probably going to leave one, because for some reason I couldn't just delete everything. It always left one. But after I deleted everything out, then I just come to search, touch here, go inside your folders and add all your majors in a row. So it's all nice and organized, because it's going to add it in the order that you place them. And then once you do that, come out of the folder, go into your minors and add all your minors. So then when you go back to quotes here, everything will be all nice and organized in your quotes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I had to throw that in there because, I want y'all to be organized. So make sure y'all do that. If you get that, put some fire in the chat. I don't want to lose y'all, because I got to circle back around and go back to the fractals. But I had to throw that in there for y'all to get y'all organized. Okay. Okay, cool. So now we're going to go back to the chart. Now, these arrows that you're seeing, these are fractals. Now, I started putting fractals on my chart, and I did not really understand what it was, but I know I heard people talk, like when I be doing so much learning, and I heard fractals, I had no idea what it was. And then one day it dawned on me after having them and trading, and it just dawned on me what it was doing. I said, oh, the fractals is helping me identify higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, and lower lows. So that's why I took y'all to the training first on the canvas. So you can learn what higher highs and higher lows are and lower highs and lower lows are. And if you look at any one of these charts, it's showing you exactly that. So if you look, you see this right here? At one point, this was a higher high. At one point, this was a lower low, right? At one point, this was a higher low, right? At one point, this was a lower low. You see? So the fractals are actually going to help you train your eye to see higher highs, higher lows, or lower highs, right? And this is going to help you determine when to enter a trade based on you getting these confluences. So bat formation, one confluence. The weekly matches, the weekly, second confluence. The daily, third confluence. The weekly does not match the daily. Does the daily match the hourly? If the daily match the 4-hour chart, then now you have three confluences. You have the bat formation that came from the Monera on Telegram. You have the daily, right? You have the 4-hour, that's three confluences. Now it's telling you, let's just pull up one of these. Let me just use one of these as an example. And what chart I want to go to. Let me see. Let's go. Well, I just go off my trade. Let me go off my trade. We'll do the sale chart. Right? We go to the chart and say, okay, they want me to sell. Okay. So we got the three confluences. We got the bet, we got the weekly, we got the or the daily and the 4-hour, or maybe we got the weekly and the daily. That's three confluences. They want you to sell. Now, I can't really put it in this real time because this is already kind of played out, which you can see on my thing. But what you're doing now is on a sale. Now you're looking for price action to show you that the market is going to go bear. Now, for example, you may not even seen these red candles just yet because it may be showing you prices going up, but they're telling you when it gets to a certain market, we want you to sell. For example, it may be telling you when price go right here, we want you to sell. It may be right here on its way up, but they're telling you when it get right here, we want you to sell. So what I'm saying is, if it's right here, but the Monera is telling you to get in at 220. Y'all see that right here? Right here, 112.220. If Monera sends you a picture and the screenshot look like this, and they're telling you, act like you don't have the two red candles. Act like these two red candles are not here. You just see green candles going up right now. And they're saying, get in at this 112.220 for a sale. Now, you may be looking saying, hold on, man, this thing is going up. Why would I do a sale? Because the Monera has already identified a bat formation, and they know that in this bat formation, this is an area of interest. And they believe that they're going to use that area of interest on a sale as what? Support or resistance, superstar?
They're gonna use it as resistance.
You better go ahead. They're going to use it as resistance. That's what the Monera is predicting. So you have the three confluences, but now you need a couple more confluences before you take the trade, right? So you're like, okay, they want me to get in on a sale there. So let me see if it actually goes there. Because sometimes the Monera may not hit exactly where it tells you to get in at. This is why you have to have technical analysis skills to know, is it in the range? Is it in the zone? Is it in the area of interest? Is it somewhere in the ballpark? Because the chart may now show you another confluence that price is going to go down. And in this example, let's take this first red candle. Pay close attention, y'all. Close attention. The key word is close attention. Because what I'm about to ask you, I just showed you on the whiteboard. It tells you to get in, right? So you know they want you to get in on the sale. This first candle appears, do you take the sell? Superstar, yes or no?
Manera said get in on the sale.
Monero said get in on the sale. It told you to get in on the sale. Let's say it told you to get in this area. You
Right.
see it first, but you're looking for another confluence to ensure that it's going to go in your direction.
Mhm.
Right? You see this first red candle right here. Ignore this second one. You see this first one. The second one is not there yet. You see this you see this first one. Do you get in on the sale?
Yeah, Manera said do it. And do it.
Answers be priceless, I promise.
Manera said,
To the next person. Let me move to the next person.
Manera said go right ahead.
Queen, do you get in on this sale?
I said no because it didn't go past the two green candlesticks.
There we go. It did not engulf the last two previous candles. It
Uh,
did not engulf it. Now, some people are going to say, that's enough for me. I'm going to get in on that. And you may still win in the trade. But I am teaching structure and discipline to increase the chances of the trade not going the opposite way. And to ensure that you're looking for the engulfing. So if you have this candle right here, did not engulf it yet, so you would be waiting again to see what the next candle does. Now,
So, quick question, real quick. So looking at the red candlestick, if it was a little past that first green one, then I would go in on it, right?
not a little, you wanted to engulf it.
Engulfed it.
Yes. So if it covers this wick as well,
Oh, the wick and the candle. Okay, got
you
you.
wanted to engulf it. It needs to engulf it. So maybe if it went to this line right here, maybe you say, okay, that's an engulfment. If it closed,
Got you.
right? Now, this is another thing I need to add on here, guys, is what chart you're looking at. Okay. Now, for this example, I would have to go and find this particular trade, which was the CAD JPY. I would have to go into the Monero, go all the way to like 7 in the morning when they sent it to me. Yeah, because they sent it right at 7 a.m., which was right here. Well, yeah, this is, I mean, but I can't go on the chart. But this was what they sent, the trade I took. And you can see it's green candles going up, but it's telling me get in at 1.09.517. You see? So at this point, I have the bat formation on a 5-minute candle, but it's telling me to get in, but I do not have any evidence that price is going to go down. Does that make sense? There's no evidence outside of the bat formation, which is one confluence, that price is going to go down. So you got to start stacking your confluences. This is the first confluence, is the bat formation, saying, you know, because of X and A with B and C and D, we say because of this formation, we believe it's going to go down. Okay, that's great. That's one confluence. Let me look at my weekly. What does my weekly look like? Let me look at my daily. Are they matching? No. Okay, well, let me look at my 4-hour. Oh, my daily and my 4 hours matching? Okay, that's two more confluences, the daily and the 4 hour. So I got the bat, the daily, and the 4 hour. That's 3 confluences. It's still not enough for me to just get in this trade, because now I am looking for a bearish engulf to ensure that I have at least 4 confluences. I need at least 4 of them. So what I'm going to look for is, first of all, the price, that candle is not at that entry just yet at the 109.50, 107. So, but that's a fine, because it may not get to that area, but it's in the ballpark. So now I'm waiting for a bearish trend. I'm waiting for something bearish to show me that it wants to go down. So now I'm going to wait for an engulfing. I'm waiting for an engulfing. I need something to show me that this thing wants to go down. So if I start seeing a red candle starts to form and it does not like it, let's say if it's in this case, let's say in this case, because of where the candles are, how big these candles are in this situation, it may be a little bit different when I decide to get in because these candles are so far spread apart. I'm probably not going to wait until it engulfs both of these candles because this is a big deal. That's already at take profit. The second candle is already at your target one. So I wouldn't wait this long, but I need to see a bearish trend. I need to see a solid bearish trend, if I'm gonna enter this trade, because it may, let's say it gives you another green and it hits this target right here, which is 109.50, 107. That's going to be another green candle, or it's going to probably be just, if it continues, it could just be this one green candle that you're looking at right now, go all the way up and hit that area. Well, if that one candle goes all the way up and hit that area, when I start seeing a red candle, I need to see the red candles close below this green candle. This first one, not the second one. I just need to see it past this first one. Because then it's going to start it's going to engulf it. I needed to engulf this. I need to see it engulf it. And sometimes, in this example, you just got 3 really long candles, right? But sometimes you'll have 3 or 4 small candles. You know what I'm saying? They'll be smaller. There'll be a lot of smaller ones. So you just need to see it really do some form of engulfing. And then once you get that engulfing, that bearish candle, like you were seeing on that other chart right here, right? Once you get this first green candle, this first red candle, you like, okay, it didn't really engulf the last 2 previous. So I'm a hold tight. I know it's coming though. Why? Because you see this wick to the bottom side? See, it wicked below the last 2 previous green candles, but it did not close below the last 2 candles. So right now, you're waiting. You're like, oh, I know I'm going to get in here, but I'm just waiting now. The waiting is very important. The patience, people eager, but having that patience for the right precision, like a sniper sitting on a rooftop, they're waiting for the right precision to make, because they only get one shot. They get one shot. After that first shot, you're not going to be able to shoot no more. That's it. One shot. You got to get it right on the one shot. And this is why you wait so patiently, even though you see this red candle. Some people going to get in and still make the money, but they're going to also lose the third trade that they do because they did not wait for the precise moment. And they're going to see this thing going to go up to the upside because they did not wait for it to engulf. So they're going to have times when they win the trade and then they're going to turn around the next trade. They're going to lose it because they're still not being precise. You see what I'm saying? So you would technically still wait. And this is what you do. If Monero sends you the chart, look at this chart. So, Queen, what chart is this? What chart did they send it on? What chart is this? Is this the weekly chart? Is this the daily chart? Is this the 30-minute chart, the 15-minute chart, the 5-minute chart, 1-minute chart? What chart are we looking at right now?
This is the 15 minutes,
This is the 15-minute chart?
I think. Because I'm looking at the numbers on the bottom. It's in 15-minute increments.
For 5 minutes.
Okay, Solomon, what you say?
5 minutes. Rotimi.
This is a 5-minute chart? And where do you see the 5-minute chart at? How do you know it's a 5-minute chart?
Oh,
At
M5.
the, at the top, M5 next to the pair.
Exactly. M5 is at the top of the screen. So this is how you identify what pair, what they're sending you. They're sending you a CAD JPY, which is a Canadian dollar / Japanese yen on a M5, which is a 5-minute chart. And they're saying this is a bat butterfly.
What threw me off was those numbers at the bottom. They were 15-minute increments. That's what threw me off.
Right. But yeah. I just asked you on purpose because I'm trying to train your eyes on what to look for when you see these charts. So that's why I did that on purpose. So you'll know. what you're looking at. This is very important because the next thing I'm going to tell you on how to get your sniper entry, you have to understand this. You got to know what you're looking at. So you're looking at a Canadian JPY on a 5-minute chart. So what I do is when I get a 5-minute chart, now I got to go inside the 5-minute and go for what we call a sniper entry. So this is a 5-minute chart. So that means every candle represents 5 minutes. Right? So these 3 green candles that you see represent 15 minutes, the last 15 minutes. Right? That's the last 15 minutes. Now watch this. Let me show you what that looks like over here. So let me go to the 5-minute chart. This is the 5-minute chart. So I am looking for a bearish engulfing on a sale, and they sent it to me on the 5-minute chart. So what I got to do is zoom into that 5-minute chart by going to the 1-minute chart, where everything is now that 5 minutes is broken into 5 different candles. So now I can go to a sniper entry to find the bearish engulfing, or find that trend that's a bearish engulfing. And look what you have right here. Look at this strong candle, this red candle right here. Would be considered, like a bearish engulfing, because you see these 2 greens right here. You'll be looking for a sniper entry. Now I'm not really able to show you this in real time on this training, because the market's not open, so I can't show you in real time a bearish engulfing. But just know that when you get your trade coming in through the Monero, if it sends you a 5-minute chart, scale down to the 1 minute for a sniper entry. If it sends it to you in the 15-minute, you may be able to scale into a 5-minute to get an engulfing. But if you can't find the engulfing in the 5-minute, you may still have to scale down into the 1 minute if it's in the area where you need to take the trade, because you have to get the sniper entry. And the sniper entry in the 1 minute increments, every minute a candle is forming. So it's like you're a little bit ahead of yourself. You can see what's coming. You can't sit on the 15-minute chart and get a sniper entry, because as you see, in 15 minutes, it was only three candles. And the second candle was already in take profit 1. So you can't wait until it covers 3 candles on a 15-minute chart. You won't make it. You will never get in the trade. The trade, you'll already be at TP1, right? Let me go back and show you. You see? If the TP1 is right here and you waiting for it to engulf, well, you're going to be at TP1 before it engulfs. So you cannot do that. You got to scale into the smaller time frames to get that engulfment that you need, which is still going to give you still a really good position, a sales position, because it's a sniper entry. So you're not waiting until the market go all the way down, but you are waiting to get that confluence. Okay, what's the question, Queen?
So I'm trying to see, I know when we get these signals, most of the time we have to, jump in at the right time. So how could you check confluences? I mean, I'm asking you, do you check confluences even off of the signals that Monero sends? You check off everything that you do, or is it when you're trading on your own?
No, you check every time I take a trade from Monero. I get the trade from Monero, right? I choose what trade I want to take from the Monero, like I showed you, right? I'm looking for the charts. I'm looking for the breakouts. Remember, I'm going to choose from the litter because I'm going to get all these signals, but I'm going to choose a breakout. And then once I choose the breakout, I already got the first confluence, which is Monero telling me it's a bet. Then I'm going to proceed to the next thing. Look at the daily. Do I get a confluence? Oh, I got one. Look at the weekly. I got one. Good. That's another one. That's 2. Let me look at my daily. Do I have another one? That's 3. Okay, that's good. Now let me proceed forward. Let me look at the actual chart like we're looking at now. It's telling me to get in at this area, but I need to have another confluence to show me that the price is going to start reversing. Because every time Monero sends you something, it's always going in one way, but they're telling you to go the opposite way. So I need to have another confluence to show me that the price is finna start going the opposite way. So that's why I'm looking for the another confluence. I'm looking for a bullish engulfing or a bearish engulfing. If I'm looking for a buy, I'm looking for a bullish engulfing. If I'm looking for a sell, I'm looking for a bearish engulfing to add to my confluence. So I'm always going to have at least 4 confluences every single time. But I'm not taking a trade without 4 confluences. I need the back butt formation. That's one. I need the weekly or the daily. If I don't get the weekly, I need the daily and the hourly. If I get the daily and the hourly, okay, that's 3. I need 1 more. Now I need to zoom into the chart. They're sending it to me on a 15-minute window. They're sending it to me on a 5-minute chart. I need to scale down into my 1 minute. I need to look for a bullish or a bearish engulfing based on if the Monero is telling me to sell or buy. And then once I have that, then I'm entering the trade. And it gets a little bit more technical, but we've been going for a while, so I'm not going to scramble your brain up, but just know that when I'm looking for those bullish engulfings, I'm also looking at these fractals to determine, what's happening. Like, is there a higher high? Is it a higher low? Because I need to know. I need to know these things because you can tie these fractals into it as well too, especially if you don't get your sniper entry and you show up to a trade late. Because sometimes that happens. You'll get a trade and you didn't get in at the right time. Like when the trade was first, you didn't get in at the key entry, but maybe the trade is going so amazing and you want to be in it so bad because you just like, man, dang, I know it's going to keep going down. I want to be in there, but I ain't getting in the beginning. Well, now you're going to have to start identifying higher highs or lower highs or higher or lower lows for you to be able to get in on the second round. So you're going to be looking for retracements and stuff. I don't want to get too complex with you guys, but this is the foundation of how I take my trades and what I personally call the world-class trading setup. Confluences, at least 4 confluences. Now, if you want to have the world-class flush, anybody play spades? Anybody play spades? Where my spades players at? Who plays spades? Somebody got to play spades. There's too many black.
Of course, you can't talk to all these black folks saying who plays spades.
Right? So,
and if they don't, the black card gets revoked. No.
Right? So in the space, you have a royal flush. What's a royal flush? Davina, what's a royal flush?
A royal flush ain't in spades.
Well, what's a royal flush?
A royal flush is in poker.
What's a royal?
Ain't it with all the king, the queen, is that with all of them?
Yeah, exactly. When you got the ace of spades, the king of spades, the queen of spades, the jack of spades, and 10.
Gotcha.
Right? That's a flush. So I call pretty much when you start adding these confluences in, you can get what you call a world-class flush. The world-class flush, I'm going to tell you what the world-class flush is. When you get the Monero, 1 confluence. That's the ace. You get the weekly, that's the king. You get the daily, that's the queen. You get the 4-hour, that's the jack. You get the 1 hour. If you when you start clicking through the weekly, the daily, the 4-hour, especially if you get those 3, if you can get the weekly, the daily, and the 4-hour, that's 3, along with the Monero, that's 4. That's 4 confluences right there. And if you go into the chart and get a sniper entry and look for a bearish or a bullish engulfing, that's 5 confluences. That's a world-class flush. The chances of you winning on that trade is way greater than you losing on that trade. The only way you would lose on that trade is if you don't trust your technical analysis. And it goes into a little bit of drawdown and you panic and close your sell out, or you put your stop loss somewhere you don't have to, where you don't, you just do something that you ain't got no business doing because you got to trust your analysis. I did a trade. When I did my trade today, when I had 6 confluences. And when I had 6 confluences, the team, when we was in the trade vault, we had some people that stayed in the trade exactly with me. We had some people that took the trade. Angie took the trade. The market went down. She took $90. She got out. She took a profit. She's like, I'm like, you still in the trade, Angie? She's like, I'm out. I'm like, why are you out? She was like, I don't know. I just, I saw $90. I had to get that $90. I'm like, I just sat here for a whole hour and a half teaching you confluences. We got to trust the analysis. I'm teaching you that if you learn to use the technical analysis, you will trade less and earn more. Less trades, more profits. That's ultimately what you want, because the less you're in the market, you're decreasing the chances of you losing. But if you can get more profits being in the market less, that is the key. So I've been trimming down my trades, utilizing and refining my trading technique, right? And adding my confluences to where I can trade less and earn more. So versus doing my analysis and getting in and watching prices go in my favor and seeing it start to reverse, and then me saying, I'm gonna take my profit real quick because I don't want it to reverse on me. And that's fine because that works. But I'm not maximizing my trades. And because I'm not maximizing, I'm not even letting it get anywhere even close to TP1. That means I got to go back in the market again and trade again. And I got to do it again. And I got to do it again. So I may end up with 7 trades, 8 trades, 9 trades in a day. And I may win all of them. But realistically, I'm in the market too many times. I'm doing too many trades throughout the day. And I'm giving myself too many chances to lose doing that. And I'm not maximizing my profits when I can easily take 2 trades like I did today and make over $5,000 doing 2 trades. I saw a trade. I saw a signal that I liked. Right? I saw this pattern. I liked it. I thought it was nice. I saw a little breakout. I really wouldn't call it a breakout, but I liked it. It was strong, good, strong green candles. I liked it. I waited for that. I zoomed into my 1 minute. I waited for my bearish engulfing. And once I got my confluence, I had 4 confluences. And when I got in and it started to go down into profit and I was up, I had like 3 positions. When I was up a couple hundred and it started to reverse on me a little bit, I did not take my profits, but I told the class, hey, take your profits, y'all. Y'all don't have to do what I'm doing. I'm all taking you to the water. You can drink it. Angie took her profits. Nothing wrong with that. Take your money. But I'm on another journey. I'm trying to get to these TP1s and see if I can ride this thing to TP2, a different kind of thing. That way if I close this out right now, this quick, I'm gonna be back looking at another trade when I already got a sniper entry on this one. So I gotta trust my analysis with my confluences that the market is gonna go in my favor. So when it was up on my 3 positions and I had 120, 120, and 120, and I'm looking at $360. And then it starts to reverse and it goes to 200 to 150 to, normally without the confluences and understanding everything, I just take my profits like Angie did. But understanding that I'm refining and really setting my trades up in a way, I have to trust my technical analysis. So I said, no, I'm not going to take that. I'm going to wait. But I'm going to use my fractals. And I'm going to know, I got my stop loss set up the way they told me to set up my stop loss, but I have my fractals. So I know if it already went down, as long as it doesn't give me another higher high followed with a higher low, I'm going to hold my ground and I'm going to let this thing play out. So even though I saw $350 and it went back down to 0, I'ma still hold my position. I'm not gonna panic. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna let this thing play out. And guess what it did? It retested, brought me back to zero, and then it started to come down again. It retested and went back down. And matter of fact, if I really want to get technical on a royal flush, if I really wanted to, I could wait for, if it wanted me to sell, I could wait for a bearish engulfing. And even when I get the bearish engulfing, if I really wanted to get even more technical, then I could wait for that bearish engulfing to take place. Not only that bearish engulfing, but I can wait till it actually retraces and retests the entry area. And I can make sure that that entry area is going to be used as resistance. And once it bounces off the entry area, right, and give me another bearish engulfing, then I can enter the trade, because now I just added another confluence on top of that. And when this starts to make sense to you guys, you will become a trading monster. You will become a trading monster because you're adding so many confluences before you execute a trade. You have no choice but to win most of them. You really can't mess it up. As long as you're doing that, Monero 1, weekly 2, daily 3, 4-hour 4, sniper entry 5. Matter of fact, wait, sniper entry, bearish engulfing, wait. Let it retest the second, let it retest the entry area. Another confluence. Give me another bearish engulfing. Now I'm entering. That's like 7 confluences. The chances of that thing going the opposite way, I mean, at that point, you can set it, forget it. You got your entry set up, you got your stop loss in place. You have all the confluences that you need that the market is going down, including the retest. You just let that thing ride on out. And now what you do on that, when the market starts going in your favor and it starts going down, you see, and you making all your profits is growing. Now this is when you start taking your stop loss and you move it to break even. So now if the market reverses and hits your stop loss, you're not even in a losing trade anymore. I normally bring it a little bit lower than break even. I normally try to get a little bit of profit and I leave it there. And then I wait. If it's going down, I'm waiting for a new higher low and a lower low to form. And the fractals, which I can't show you in the live thing now, but these fractals start showing. And I start using my fractals to know where to modify my stop loss. And I always put my stop loss on the second previous higher low or lower. It just depends on if I'm doing it. If I'm going on a sale, I'm looking for a higher low. A lower high. I'm looking for a lower high, and I'll know to put my stop loss not at the most recent lower high. I go above that. Remember, I was explaining to you the toll road. When you're on the freeway, you go through one toll road and you keep going, you go to another one. I'm not going to put my stop loss at the toll road that I just crossed through, because the market will easily use that toll road as resistance and bounce off of it. It'll take your stop loss off. I'm going to take my stop loss and put it at the first toll road before that one, the toll road before that, the previous toll road, to give my trade time to breathe and time for it to go up and down. And that's going to allow me to ride that trade to its fullest, to its TP, which is going to keep me in a trade that I got a perfectly well mathematically set up, structured entry. So I don't want to have to close this trade out because my entry is perfect and the trade is going the way I want it to go. So I don't want to get out of this trade because I have a perfect entry. I just want to be able to gracefully ride this trade the way it needs to go. And I need to have breathing room, and I need to know where to put my stop loss so I don't get stumped out in profit, but I don't want to get stumped out. Because I know it's more profits, because if I'm on a sale, until I start seeing higher highs with higher lows, I know it's going to keep going down. And I just keep watching my fractals if I'm in a sale with my stop loss. And I'm like, can I get another lower low? Can I get another lower low? Oh, a fractal appeared a lower low. Come on. Can I get a lower high? Can I get another lower high? Oh, another arrow, lower high. And I just watch my fractals and I just watch it play out. And I just keep modifying my stop loss to not the most recent, but the one before the most recent. The most recent higher low. And I keep doing that. And if I'm doing a sell, it's the same thing. If I'm doing a sell, if I'm doing a buy, I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking for those higher highs and those higher lows, as it's going up. And then I start putting my stop loss below the new, not the most recent higher low, but the one previous before that. I start putting my stop loss there. And I just can gradually keep doing that until it gets to the TP area, until it takes my TP out. And if you do that, you're just gonna see yourself, your life gonna change. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Because guess what? There's so many possibilities when you learn this strategy that you can do. You can now take prop firm challenge and you can pass the prop firm challenge. And then you can use other people's money with the prop firm challenge. You can start off with a small account, $200, $300, $500, and you can know what you're doing and you can scale it up because you're maximizing your full trades. Not taking little profits because you're scared every time you see a red candle to go ahead and hurry up, take your money. You can take one trade and ride that thing all the way to TP1, TP2 and be like, man, I took a $300 account to $1,000 in a certain amount of time because I learned how to really maximize my trades. And all I did was take a few trades. And then you'll start seeing your account start to scale up. And now you can increase your lot size. And now that you're increasing your lot size, the same trade you were making $30 on or $40 on or $15 on is the same exact trade you're taking. You're making $100 on, you're making $120 on, and then you build off of that. And now you're making trades, and now you're making $300, $400, $500 off of them, or $1,000 off of them, and you just continue to do that and scale up. So I'm not gonna hold y'all anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's 10:30, 10:31, 1 minute over 10:30. Y'all been rocking with me for a minute. If you enjoyed the training, give me some fire emojis in the chat. If you enjoyed the training, give me some fire emojis in the chat. All right, man. So I'm gonna leave the floor open for a few minutes, for a few seconds here for any questions. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Quick questions. Not something that's gonna take us to a whole nother hour. Y'all been with me for a long time. Any other basic questions or anything you need to answer real quick? If so, put them in the chat real quick. And I wanted to have this training. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it on the weekend because the weekdays is extremely busy because obviously I'm trading live Monday through Friday with the squad. I just got a lot of stuff going on. Okay, and so just keep that in mind. Y'all keep that in mind. I got a lot going on. It's a lot. It's a lot of. It's just take a lot of commitment to do that. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of commitment to do that. Okay. Most people won't do it. They'll just get up there and just get on their phone and just make money and just show people they making money. But I take my time to work with the team. But it does require a lot of my time to do that. So outside of that time, guys, it's my time for me to do my thing and for me to live my life and enjoy my life, spend time with my daughter, you know what I'm saying? Spend time on educating myself, spend time spiritually with myself and my loved ones, and for me to be able to woosah, decompress, refill my cup so I can come back and pour into you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this training. That's my time. And like I always say, we won't see you at the top. We'll see you over the top because you're built for greatness. I'm out. Gotta go to the metaverse. Peace.
Thanks, Chad.
Thank you very much, bud. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
No problem at all, man. Y'all enjoy y'all night. And is it spring break? I know it's spring break for my people, for my daughter. So y'all enjoy the spring break time if y'all got y'all a spring break.
Good night.
Good night.